top five.
Yeah, girl, you ready to do this? You ready to count this thing down? We're doing the top 5, her. Yeah, let's set it off with 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, Jesus Christ, that's too scary. That's grudge-like.
I did that in his improv scene the other
Oh,
day.
really?
Yeah, I made Chris cry. It was really funny.
That's creepy.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like it.
it was
That's your zombie noise?
Yeah, it's like it's a different take.
Was
on
it like a dying zombie?
No, it's like
What's
okay,
to all
picture
zombies?
this.
Oh yeah, they're
Taylor.
dead.
No, they're not. Actually, classically, they're not dying. They're already dead.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so Taylor, I'm going to paint the picture for you.
Paint it?
Okay.
You're walking through, let's say, a burnt-out mall or something like that, parking lot maybe, and there's a bunch of zombies shuffling around. They haven't noticed you, and then one of them looks at you and raises his arm and goes, and just points with its open mouth hanging open,
So
no teeth in it.
believable.
And then they all look at you, and then that's the moment.
Oh, okay, so he's
That's
the
a
one.
Do you know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing that scene from Invasion of the Body Snatchers when
yeah.
Donald Sutherland does it, but
That's-
it's a zombie.
That's the one. Basically, that was the inspiration for it.
Fine.
The only
Fine.
bodies that we care about in this episode.
Are dead ones. Sorry.
Undead.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Fucking Christ.
Oh, should we?
That zombie that points out stuff. That's it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ranked Top 5 lists of stuff that don't matter. Top 5 brains that don't matter. I don't know. I'm your host, Tuong Law. I'm your undead host, Tuong Law, but I'm back from the dead today to talk about. Well, you know what? Before we even introduce the topic, we have an undead cast across from me with her jaw hanging down 6 inches. Her hair's fallen out. She's missing several limbs, and she's about to bite faces. We got Samantha Leggatt. Oh, wow.
That's a good one.
That was a good. I thought you were a vegan. Vegan
I
zombie. Grains.
Great.
Traits.
Trains. I
Oh,
only
man.
eat trains. Hi, Tung. Thanks.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really excited to be here.
How does it feel to be back in the land of the living?
Honestly, it's overrated.
Is it?
I mean, it's very dull and dreary, and I'd rather be.
You'd rather be dead.
I'd rather be dead.
Oh, God. This is so dead.
Oh no.
But it's okay because it's our
dark.
Halloween episode. We're allowed to be dark in the Halloween episode. Okay.
I'm really good at Halloween sound
That's
effects.
right. That's
by
right.
the way.
Sam, beside you.
We have Angus brain eating MacDonald. That was me.
Oh, wow.
Where are our Simpson names?
Right. We don't have any.
Yeah.
Angus, what is your Simpson name?
My Simpson name? What
Like
is that?
you know, in the Treehouse of Horrors, they have like fun, spooky
Oh,
names.
Yeah.
Well, don't get ahead of the noms, you guys.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, so it would be like Angus.
McChomp and
Snack
Donald.
I don't know.
Ooh,
like
Yeah.
snack,
Snack-Donald?
snack
That's
on-
not too bad. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
maybe.
think of a good one.
Yeah.
Think of a good one. You know, like as the seasons go on, I feel like they get worse. They
Angus,
stop trying.
Angus Bloodstorm MacDonald.
That's
I
better.
like
Angus,
that. Bloodstorm
Butcher of
is
the
good.
Week.
That
You know, I
is
feel like
good.
in later seasons, it's like
my band's
Angus Bat McDonald. It's like,
It really
wow,
is.
you guys really tried on that one.
Literally, one of them is just like it's like Hell. It's like Mel Hell. No, not Mel Brooks. It's like Max Brooks. It's like
Yeah.
Max Hell Brooks.
It's like nice. You
All
guys
right.
really tried.
Good job, guys.
Angus, all the way.
What about Fangus or Braingus?
Thank you.
Wow.
That
What?
amazing voice with Fangus MacDonald is the one, the only Taylor Fleming.
Taylor Fleshling. No, you're not Taylor Fleshling.
I was gonna say Fleming, but spell it like phlegm, like the.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
a-
good. That's good.
Oh, wow. It's
pretty good.
He's a good actor.
Not
over
a
there.
zombie, just congested.
Yeah.
Yes, Taylor's the only one that's still alive. He's holding down the West Coast pretty well. Only survivor, I hear.
We'll get him. We'll get him.
We'll get him.
Maybe
We'll get
by
him.
the end of the episode, we'll see.
We'll see if we can.
We might be slowly shambling towards Vancouver. You don't know.
Yeah.
Buy a girl dinner first. We'll see.
Ooh, Taylor, thank you for being on the cast.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man.
But,
I know how much you love Halloween and you love the spooks.
oh God, are you going back to calling everything spooky?
You were doing. It's a spooky episode.
I'm scared.
I think
I need an adult.
last Halloween episode, I was called out for saying everything with the adjective spooky.
You know what? Spooked is good though. So
Hey, it's okay. Now this one's all about brains. But hey, listen, why are we talking
Brains.
about brains today? Why are we talking about shuffling around and eating limbs? It's because today we're talking about zombies. Our favorite undead thing, but maybe not always. Are they
Wait.
always undead, Angus? Zombies? What were you trying to say?
I guess I said they are usually dead.
Yeah.
But I guess there are zombies that fit the archetype of a zombie that aren't technically dead. Because like the original term for zombie was just somebody who's like brainwashed.
Right,
Like
right,
a
right.
voodoo thing maybe, and they're still technically alive. They're just under someone's control.
Right. Okay.
So-
Well, we'll cover that in the ground rules, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
But today we're talking about top 5 things featuring zombies. So that could be anything, really.
Well, anything that features zombie.
Anything that features zombies. That's right. So let's
not a vampire.
Yeah.
not a vampire.
Like, I mean,
Ooh, one of my list was a vampire by accident.
you're like Dracula. Oh, right.
I was like, oh, this one. No, those are vampires. I was like, fuck.
Also,
Oh.
may I? Sam, I got inspired when they mentioned you were vegan. Do you want to hear what a vegan zombie sounds like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grains.
We just made
what
that
I
joke.
said.
We already made
Did you?
that joke.
My connection is bad,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh no. Okay. Well, then
And I'm not really
no,
a
and
vegan.
if we're being honest, a vegan zombie would sound like, actually, I'm vegan. You should look into it. It's pretty good for you.
Have you tried keto? I also
keto.
run marathons.
Technically, this is paleo.
I don't even miss meat.
You should be careful what you put inside yourself. I don't know.
Okay, guys, let's go through some ground rules for top 5 things featuring zombies.
Has to be a thing that features zombies.
Right.
End of list.
Okay, so how about like a lot of fictional episodes that we do? We're trying to pull from all sorts of media, but when we do that, we want to be specific enough. So let's say a zombie appears in a franchise of movies, for example. Let's pick a movie from
Yep,
that
of
franchise
course.
instead of saying this entire thing is the nomination. Does that sound fair?
100%,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Or if you're like
Alright.
saying a movie and it
I'm
has
questioning it for some
Okay.
things, but I'll get to that
Okay,
when I
okay.
get to it.
And if it has like a remake of, say, a movie,
Right.
then you will pick
Right.
one of those.
Well, you'll pick the
things.
original because it's probably better.
Not always.
Not always.
No, you're right. Not always, but almost always.
Almost always.
Almost always.
But we're pulling. Yeah, we're gonna play a little fast and loose with this. Because originally this episode was gonna be top 5 zombie things.
Isn't that what it is?
It's
No,
top
it's
5 things featuring
featuring
zombies.
zombies.
It's a little worded differently, but as long as we kind of fit around that, I think we'll let everything slide. Let's see here. A zombie is a fictional undead being created through the reanimation of a corpse. Are we going with that definition or
Not exactly.
Not
Not
exactly.
exactly. Because
So-
then you got your rage virus zombies.
yeah?
You got,
So as they
how about this?
they exhibit like zombie, what we perceive as zombie
so
like.
they eat flesh and or brains. They are mindless and generally need to be put down with a shot to the head.
but not always.
Not always.
I feel like a lot of things that might not be the classic zombie archetype that we're picturing still fall under the umbrella of zombie. And I think we all have an idea more or less. We could probably just cross that bridge when we come to it. But
Yeah.
I think we're on
Like
the same page.
when Tuong nominates something like the bagel belt, we'll all know and we'll all shut it down immediately.
Right.
It's the zombie.
I am a
fast food.
bagel belt apologist, and I've been
Wow.
backing Tongue
That's
since
right.
that day.
This is
That's right.
ridiculous.
Sam, you and
Guess
I are
what Tongue
united.
did when
I
we
don't
came
understand.
to
Hey,
Vancouver?
Leslie's dead. He's out. Taylor's
Okay,
in.
real zombie stuff though.
Yeah.
Like we can nominate. Like, are we nominating like, oh, these are our favorite zombies, or like this is our favorite zombie story?
Thing
Yes.
feature- and it's our favorite thing.
We don't have.
featuring
It doesn't
zombies.
have to be our
No.
favorite zombie, but it
No,
has to
no.
be our
No,
favorite
no.
zombie lore.
It's a thing that
or
features
fiction
zombie.
or
Exactly. That's why we
whatever
want
it
to be
is.
specific
Yeah.
in this case because we're not comparing, oh, this fast zombie versus this slow zombie
Right,
or this
right.
interpretation of a zombie. It's not that.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Did you
yeah,
just open a beer?
no.
That was me.
Nice.
Cheers, man.
Nice,
Cheer-
man.
cheers, cheers,
Cheers.
everyone, cheers.
Are you a cop?
Hey, what you got there, buddy? You been driving tonight? Been driving?
No, officer.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure you haven't been driving before you got that beer open.
Because if you were,
I swear I only drove for and that was like an hour ago. I drove.
yeah, and yeah, we can get creative with this episode, I think, and
Oh, yeah.
I think there's some fun stuff that can be had with this episode. So,
Agreed.
shall we just get into it?
We should.
Just like every spooky episode of Ranked, we're going to go around the table 3 times, nominating 3 nominations each and making a master list of 12 and whittling that down into an undead top 5 list. Here we go. So I did some research today, did a little bit of digging around. I actually just made my list today.
Me too.
Sam, did you make your list today too?
Kind of.
Okay, so everybody did.
Tongue, do you always go
I
first?
wrote mine in a notes doc.
Tongue
weeks
always
ago.
goes first.
Tongue always goes first.
Tongue
That's
does always go
literally.
first.
What do you want to? You want to cut? You think you're gonna head him off at the pass or something?
Nah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
No,
Wow.
no, go.
All right. Okay. Sam is brandishing her machete. My first nomination, I had to rewatch it today just to make sure it was still good because it has a sequel coming out very soon.
Oh, interesting.
And I ended up loving it a lot still.
I know what
it's
he's
still
gonna
really good. It's Zombieland.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good movie.
It's a great movie. You should. It's on Netflix. You should try rewatching it. I mean, how long has it been since you guys watched it?
I think Sarah and I actually watched it this year. We watched it fairly
Oh,
recently.
really? It's been a while for me.
We put it on
Mine's
while we
within
were like
5 years.
Yeah, we put it on while we were like folding
did it come
laundry or
out?
something.
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
shit.
So
It's as old as the MCU.
that's right. And
What?
Yeah.
No
So-
fucking
No,
way.
it's a year younger.
Oh,
It's a
you're
year
right.
younger.
I'm talking about the 2009 one, obviously, because the other one's not out yet. But
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but the second one, what if people come back to this episode?
Fair, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
I
God,
am
dude.
so-
You're always think you're
I-
forward thinking.
I am forward thinking.
I'm not.
I'm backwards thinking.
I'm going to be forward thinking and just assume that Zombieland 2 would not be on this list anyway.
Yeah, just from the
Oh, I
trailers,
don't know.
it doesn't
Luke Wilson's
look
in it,
great.
though.
I did not.
No.
Luke Wilson.
Yeah, but Owen Wilson is in Zoolander 2, and how does that one?
That's my favorite zombie thing. Don't get ahead of me.
Yeah, that's the game
Save
of
it
the
for the
Wilson
cast.
twins.
The
They
Wilson.
always go into the sequels,
Not twins.
not twins. You're right. I'm thinking of the Olsen twins.
Oh man, the Olsen twins.
but-
Those are my favorite zombies.
Yeah, I forgot how. Oh God,
Come on.
I forgot.
That was a good
how
joke.
They made their
creative
choices. Thank you. Thank you.
Zombieland is.
Zombieland's
and it
great.
was very creative at the time, and it still is. The way they kind of overlay effects was really neat. The way they did it, so they show you every rule of Zombieland or what Columbus, Jesse Eisenberg's character, like all his rules, and they just overlay it on top of everything that's going on
Man,
throughout the thing. There's a lot of like cool cuts and flashbacks. And really awesome zombie kills
yeah.
in that movie too. So really good
I
uses
love
of
the zombie
shotguns
kill of
and-
the week.
Zombie
cutaway.
kill of the week
Well,
stuff.
so that is a good one. I feel like that was one of the first, not one of the first, but one of the big like also like comedies featuring zombies.
Yeah,
Certainly
exactly.
the first one I think of. I
And
know. there are
honestly,
others.
probably one of my favorite Woody Harrelson roles.
And Bill Murray.
And Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, great cameo.
So,
Great
yeah,
cameo in that.
And that cameo,
Do you
just
regret
watching it
anything?
again.
Maybe Garfield.
It's so funny. That whole
It's-
scene
it's
is really
very-
good. That cameo is amazing.
Do you
Probably
think
one
you're
of the
gonna
best
make it?
cameos.
And then he looks down at his gaping chest wound. He's like, no. He's very very good.
The Twinkie bits all
The Twinkie
really
bits, yeah.
good.
No, it's good.
And all those actors, those main actors,
fun.
are like all Academy nominated or award winning
What's
actors now.
the youngest girl's name?
Oh yeah, I have
Abigail
heard.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Abigail Breslin.
There we
Abigail
go.
Breslin.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Emma
And-
Stone that was like her like rising star. That was like one of her big
After
movies.
super bad.
Right.
Well, Superbad is aged terribly.
Yeah, whatever.
So
But
let's
We're
Zombie-
not talking about
No,
that.
I know, right?
Zombieland did not
Zombieland's
age
good.
good. It's
Zombieland
still
has
good.
aged pretty well. Yeah.
It's still very good. And you know what's really good about it? It's only an hour and a half. Less
Oh
than.
my
That
god.
is great.
less
That
than
is
an hour and a
great.
half.
You have no idea how much I watched the newest Pet Cemetery, which I'm realizing now could totally fit on this list, but isn't one of my noms. And it was like a tight hour and a half. I was like, God, I love that.
Yeah.
Everything's 3 hours this year.
Everything's 3
It
hours this year.
sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah.
It does suck. I don't
Good-
want to
good
have to
nom,
hold
good
my
nom.
bladder
Thank
for
you.
that.
Good way to start it off.
Yeah.
I'll talk more about it after Sam.
Alrighty, so my first nom. So this is weird. This is like my nom that I feel the most passionately about, but it's also the one I know the least about, which
Interesting.
I know. So I'm gonna nominate World War Z, the book, not the movie.
Okay.
Nice.
Book, not the
Interesting.
movie. And now here's where I'm like a little weird about it. Like, okay, so I haven't finished the book. I
Ooh.
started it and I keep pitching it to my book club, and everyone's already read it and loves it. So like nobody votes for it. So I haven't got the chance to read it. Everyone's like, you can just read it on your own time. But like I can't read more than one book a month. So like I just haven't got around to finishing it. So I mean, if you spoil it, I'm not gonna kill anyone for it. But I I fucking love it so far. I've like made it a third of the way through. And as far as like zombie things that I have come in contact with, the way the story like unfolds and like the learning about it and just like the realness that it feels, like I love it. And I feel like I don't even really know, I couldn't even tell you much about the zombies yet at this point for as far as I've got in the book. But
Brad Pitt in the movie version?
Yes, and apparently the movie is not very much related to the book.
Angus is making
It's completely
faces.
different.
So yeah, so it's not in my top 3 noms, but I love the movie.
Oh, okay, you do
I
love
really
the
do.
movie.
You're the
Have
one.
you read the
Yeah,
book?
I am the one. No,
Have you read the book?
I haven't. I started it, didn't finish it, but it's not. But I found it kind of boring.
Well, I mean, it depends because
Well,
like the
it's-
book
it's-
is very
yeah, it's told from a series of interviews to people around the world.
Yeah, and it's
not
very and what's the word I'm looking for?
Impersonal?
No. When you like get snippets of things, it's like an analogy or like when you have like a composition of short stories, kind
An
of
anthology?
Anthology. That's it. It's an
Yes,
anthology.
It's basically one. I believe it's one. Because it's been years since I picked it up. I believe it's one person kind of going around. It's the author of the book going around and interviewing different people.
Yeah, but
at
it's
different times.
It's so interesting
after the
listening to
outbreak.
people like discover it at different times in different ways. Like
Mm.
I feel like usually when you're introduced to a zombie fiction, it's like you've got your point of view and it's set up. Whereas this book, it's like you are learning bits and bits from different people at different times,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it's just like so interesting the way it all unfolds. Which I mean, for me, zombie stuff in general is about how the public like reacts to it, like zombies
Mm-hmm.
aside. And so like this book is just like the epitome of that, where I'm like, oh my god, I'm learning about everything from so many different perspectives, and I love that. So
Interesting.
I'm not done it, but
maybe-
I will finish it.
And it's one of your favorites.
And
That's-
it's like my
It's the
number
one
one
you're
nom, and
most
I've only
passionate
read
about.
a third of it. So
which I have
like, I mean, that's where I'm standing on. I like will die for this.
I have to say, not a super long book.
It's not.
It's like
no
300 pages, maybe.
Oh my God.
So a
Awesome.
third of the way through is not that far.
It's not.
It's about
no,
100 pages by
no.
my count.
Yeah, it's about. I think you might be right.
Yeah, you might be farther than me. I don't know. I'm
No.
just saying. I think it's so
It is a cool
fascinating.
book. I've heard
I'd
yeah.
be curious to see how you like the ending of this book, and if
Have
that-
you read it?
No, I'm just curious.
It's a bold swing to come out with a thing you haven't. Finished.
That's what I mean. Like, how do you know you like it at the
That
end?
is how
True.
determined I am through
Okay.
this one third.
All right.
Angus, Blood,
Angus,
MacDonald,
Bloodstorm. My name is
Bloodstorm.
Bloodstorm.
Bloodstorm, Bone Storm.
Bone, hail, snow made of teeth. Bloodstorm.
Okay, MacDonald.
You sound like a Castlevania character.
Thank you. Ooh, which gets me into my nomination, a video game made by Capcom. The greatest
yes.
game ever to feature
Okay.
zombies
All
ever.
right, choose the right one.
You might not like this.
Choose the right one.
It's my favorite.
Choose the right one.
Resident Evil 4.
Yes. Okay.
Fucking love that game.
Oh, Angus is, he's touching me under the table
Oh, yeah.
because he loves that I agree with him.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Stop it, man. Stop it. Oh. Okay.
Bread.
Oh, Jesus.
That kills
That
me.
is biting.
So Resident Evil 4 originally came out on the GameCube, I think, first.
I did.
Well, we're going
Well, no, so
GameCube?
I played it on the PS2, and I remember that was a port. So I remember playing it, and I rented it back when you rented video games. So I rented it, and I was playing through the game, and I got to this barn where this guy in this big coat with a big beard, he looks like a big like Amish guy, and he like attacks you, and then he turns into this gross fucking spider hanging from the rafters and stuff. And I thought that was the end of the game because I was still pretty young, and I didn't realize how long video games were. That's like the first like fifth of the game, maybe less. It's like the first boss, and I was like, this is the end of the game. This is incredible. And and then I never finished it, and then I got it on Wii, and I still. Short of Wii Sports, I think Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games on the Wii because the control.
Wii Sports?
No, truly, the
Sports is
controls
amazing.
because they implemented this system where you couldn't move and shoot at the same time. So whenever you wanted to shoot something, you had to stand still and point your gun at it. And ammo was so scarce, it truly was like a scary game.
It's too much for me, man.
Oh my god, it
That's
was
too
great.
much.
It was,
Yeah.
but it was a little more actiony than some of the other ones.
Yes.
but it was just the right amount because they went over the top for 5 and 6. And then I heard that they're just now kind of getting back into form of still making it a little scary. And I think it set the way for like things like The Last of Us. It truly did. Like third person shooters. It's a great. Oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
Well, you
Sorry.
did-
Anyway,
well-
Resident Evil 4 still my nomination. Resident
Yep,
Evil 4.
That's fair.
Amazing game. and it's fun and funny, and it's very self-aware, but it's also like very scary. Like
It's very scary.
Did you play 4?
Of course.
When the guy in the so there's a guy with a burlap sack over his head and a chainsaw. When he got you the first time, did it scare you?
That game scares the shit out
Terrified
of
me. Cuts your head off with a chainsaw and you die.
Sam, you should play that game.
I think
Scary.
I would rather die.
Oh, you've said that many times today.
Question about it. I haven't played actually any of the Resident Evil games, but I know they all feature zombies. What's the undead like in this game? Because you mentioned a couple bosses, but what are like the hordes?
The cool thing about these guys is these are less like your undead zombies, and these are more like infected people who are mindless. So they have a thing called Las Plagas. This kind of like worm spider thing in their brain. And later on in the game, when it's kind of had time to gestate in some of the people, and you shoot them in the head, instead of killing them, their head explodes and a giant like tentacle monster pops out of their head, and they keep coming towards you. And so it's this,
I'm traumatized.
it's amazing.
Oh my
God, it's amazing.
I want to spin the laptop
God,
to you later.
it's so
Sam.
good.
I'll show you a picture of it later.
No.
They look great, and it's scary. It's a
No,
scary
thank
game.
you.
We could talk about
I've
and
played
the
through it a
last-
couple times
The
now.
last thing I'll say for Angus's nom here is that it is truly a big pivoting point in game history.
Yeah.
The whole Resident Evil it defined third person shooters, so it's a really popular game.
Did you know Devil May Cry started off as a first attempt at Resident Evil 4? And then they're like, this is a completely different game. We should just make this instead.
I
Yeah.
did not know that. Taylor, hit me with some fun facts.
About Devil May Cry,
Yeah,
because I don't know any.
yeah, about Devil May Cry, and then your next nom.
All right. The only fact I've got for you is my first nomination of the round. I'm taking a page from Tuong's book with this one, and I'm going with Shaun of the Dead, guys.
Wow.
Yes,
That's the other comedy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that one definitely predates Zombieland a
Oh,
little
yes,
bit.
by a
but,
couple years.
Shaun of the Dead is just one of my absolute favorites. Like comedy, horror, they blend it all so well. I'm a huge Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg fan. Like I had spaced the series on DVD and stuff. And if you're a fan of those guys and their work, you've definitely seen Shaun of the Dead. But for those of you who haven't, they just do a pitch perfect parody of the zombie movies, like the George Romero zombie movies.
Well, it's
And
definitely
they,
the best of the 3 Cornetto trilogy, right? It's got to be that's
absolutely.
the best one. Yeah.
There
I
a lot
don't know.
of people are here for Hot Fuzz.
Hot
but,
Fuzz is good. I like Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun
I
of the
haven't
Dead's
seen
better.
Hot Fuzz yet. So I just started watching Edgar Wright's movies, actually. And I watched Shaun of the Dead for the first time like 3 weeks ago. And
What did you think?
I really liked it. But I do find his friend a little too annoying.
Well, there you
Nick
go.
Frost.
Sure, whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. I could get into it later on. But like his friend is he's an idiot, but that serves the purpose to the story.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all about whatever. We'll get into it
all
later.
about
But you guys
family.
all know
So
Shaun
good.
of the Dead.
It's all
Oh,
about
yeah.
family.
It's a good one. Top of my Ani mentions.
Is it?
Whoa.
Well,
Whoa.
well, great nom, Taylor. I'm glad you
Great
did.
nom,
great,
yeah.
Great first round, everyone. That was good, except
Yeah.
for Sam's. 'Cause
What?
you only read-
No, Sam's is a good nom.
What do you mean? Mine's a great nom.
Sam's
I will fight
specifically
for it.
You're gonna want to
was
lower
on my
her
noms,
level.
too.
She is screaming.
Sorry.
Angus, I told you, you have really sensitive ears. I'm having a hard time here, guys,
Fuck.
because there's so many fun things that I want to do, and there's some that I feel like have to be on this list, but maybe I'll save it. We'll go another round and we'll find out.
Yeah.
My next nomination is it is one of my favorite Halloween specials
Oh
on
God.
TV.
Oh God.
It's one of my favorite Halloween specials on TV. Angus's mouth is agape right now, and I'm not sure if it's the same. Who's pointed at me? Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to say the name of this episode right, but it is from Community,
Yes.
and it's the epidemiology episode.
Epidemiology.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm shocked that I didn't think of that. That's yes.
It's on my
Yes.
list.
It's the
it's such a
yes.
good
Kill
episode.
that cat.
So yeah.
I love the part where Donald Glover, they bite him and he's like, you got me.
You did what
Come on,
zombies do.
Come on.
So I rewatched that episode today while I was
So
working,
good.
and I wrote some like highlights from the episode. Of course,
Please.
ABBA's greatest hits are all in the background.
yeah,
the entire
yeah.
the Dean's playlist. The Dean is dressed as Lady Gaga.
Yep.
And the Dean's just like one of the best characters ever.
Oh my God, right?
The whole it's all food poisoning is what we found out.
Military expired taco meat. It's weird.
Exactly. We have Troy as sexy Dracula. We have Shirley and Chang hooking up. We have Abed the alien. A lot of good Troy moments in this episode.
It's a great Troy and
when
Abed
he's he's just dressed as the robot, and they do the.
He's a xenomorph, by the way.
Abed's the xenomorph.
Xenomorph. Sorry. George
come on.
Takei opens the episode and closes the episode. And yeah, it's
What season is that, Tom?
season 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
sweet.
almost peak Community. I would say season 3 is the peak.
Yes, me
probably.
too.
But it's
Season 2 is
So
so
good. So good.
And that
I kinda
episode
gotta
is
restart
really
watching that
funny.
now.
There's a lot that happens, and it's a perfect zombie thing.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So just think about that now. They do one of my favorite zombie tropes, and they do it the best I've ever seen it, where it's always that scene where there's someone in the group who's been bitten and they hide it and they're like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then they like look down at the wound and they're like, oh, and they're really, but the guy, the doctor, I forget his name. Is it Brad?
I forget.
It doesn't
I
matter.
forget, yeah.
And he's just like, I thought I was special. And then he turns into a zombie.
And like 2 seconds later,
Britta's
she's also like, I'm special. And then she does, I guess I'm not. Like, kind
None
of
of you are special. It's so
I would
good.
invite you to rewatch it again. It's on Amazon Prime. That's how I watched it. So all of Community is on Amazon Prime right now, which is insane.
Are you
so
plugging Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime.
and the Amazon affiliate link. All right, so that's Community for you, Sam.
Honestly, that was such a great nom.
that's a good nom.
I really like that. I thought of it today as well. So following in the suit of TV episode specials.
I
and
know
we
what you're
did.
picking.
I know. We touched on it earlier. I'm gonna go Treehouse of Horror. Simpsons.
Which one is it?
I don't know.
It's
I didn't.
3.
Is it 3?
I think
Okay,
that's what
I
we're
didn't
talking
actually
about.
look it up.
Is it the one where he kills George Washington?
Yeah, zombie George Washington.
George Washington,
And
yeah.
it's the one where he's like, they're like, Dad, you just killed
Zombie
zombie
Flanders."
Flanders. He's like, that was a zombie.
It's Dial Z for Zombies.
Dial Z
Yeah,
for
there
zombie,
it
that's
is.
the one, yeah.
Dial Z for
God, that's a
zombie.
good one.
And that's the one like Bart raises the dead, right? And they have to go in and they're reading the book and Lisa
Yeah,
like
the
transforms
Necronomicon.
into a slug and like all this shit. I do, you know what? I mean, I picked it earlier because I was like, oh yeah, it just like kind of came to mind and I love Simpsons. But now like thinking about like Treehouse of Horror as a whole, it is one of like
It's one of the better
ones.
ones. Yeah.
Like now that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it like is a concise story, like it's good.
Maybe we should do that one day. Top 5 like Treehouse of
Yeah.
Horror, not like the entire thing, like a snippet of one.
Yeah.
Segments, yeah.
So,
or
yeah.
It's
whatever you
really
say.
good, and they have some of the best because
Vignettes.
like you can really go like off the handle with those, right? Like it's so cartoony and nothing matters,
Yeah.
so they're like, yeah, we'll do whatever the fuck we want. So like that one, like zombie Shakespeare, zombie Flanders,
I want you to
zombie
know-
this, Lisa's a snail. Like you literally can do anything with it.
When you entered the
Doesn't he turn her into a snail? And she's like, "What are you looking at?" He's like, "I just never noticed how pretty you were."
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
It's sweet.
It's so
when you
good.
walked into the pod cavern, that's why I immediately was like, "Oh, Treehouse of Horror," and I was like, because I looked at you and I was like, "You just made me think of one." Because when I look at you, I think of The Simpsons.
That
That's
is
a
the
big
highest compliment I've ever received in my entire life.
Yeah, it was like that when I first got to know you. It was awesome, and it was really good for a couple years. And now you're really wearing on me.
Oh man, I mean that happens. I've heard that before. So
And you got like the zombies going to Homer being like, brains, and then they avoid him.
They knock on his head too. Yeah.
and like the zombies, like the way they're drawn, like
They
from
look
a
good.
cartoon standpoint,
Yeah.
like they're like good-looking zombies.
Solid design
Like
choice. It's
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
It's a
they're
very
like
fun- yeah.
They are fun. The whole episode is just fun.
Yeah, it's-
Oh
So-
no, I have vivid memories of like going trick or treating and then coming home and like on the TV, my dad was watching like a marathon of they just did a marathon of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. Of
I do it
Simpsons.
every
It
year,
was
man.
amazing. It was awesome.
Yeah. So that's my nom.
I love it, Angus.
I will also be nominating a book to go off of
A book?
Sam's first. Yeah, I don't read much, but this is a book I have read. And while I never finished,
Animal Farm.
World War Z, Animal Farm.
The Giver.
Communists, they're the real zombies. The Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks.
Ah, yes.
This was one of those books. I feel like it came out around the same time as World War Z, or at least it was in the zeitgeist. It was in like, I remember I bought both those books in the same year, and I started and I loved the Zombie Survival Guide because it reads like an instruction manual, which doesn't sound very riveting at first, but it's like it gives you a lot of really good advice, and some of the advice is just really good. In terms of any kind of like, they're like once you figure out this emergency started, fill your bathtub with water so you have things to drink. And I was like, oh, that's really smart. That's really smart. Just like in any kind of disaster,
Right.
all this stuff like getting around by bike, they kind of poke fun at like some of the classic like movie staples of like, why would it's like weapons for fighting zombies, and it's like a chainsaw. Never use a chainsaw ever, because it's just gonna spray blood everywhere, and also it's gonna like hit a bone and kick back and kill you and all that stuff. It's just like, yeah, you wouldn't use it's like no, you make a really sharp stick that's really long so you can poke them from far away, or these kinds of things. It was all this like really great good advice that is, and it's like, oh, you want to get here, and then you want to start gardening so you can grow your own food supply. And it was like, I don't know. It was the one thing that for a while, and I still think we're a little obsessed with it. But in the heyday of zombies, is this big thing. I think this, if I may put on my like psychologist hat. I think
put it on.
I think. Well, okay, 1 second.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, just turn on the helicopter part of it.
All right, now I can talk with my psychiatrist hat on. Psychologist doesn't matter. Was it there was this time? There was this time where people were really like hoping for some kind of like almost like a social reset, where it was like, God, I wish I didn't have all this responsibility. I wish the only thing I had to worry about was killing zombies and like eating and stuff like that. Wow. And I think that's why we got all so obsessed with like apocalypses and stuff like that. And the big conversation that I'm sure you've had a million times, Tuong, is you're with your bros and you're like, yo, the world was ending, this is what I would do. And I would literally just be like, well, I read this book and they suggested this. And it was a good book. And
Everybody's had that conversation.
Absolutely.
But someone wrote a book, and a smart book.
And it is a smart book. And the interesting thing is they talk about the different kinds of zombies. And it's like, if it's this kind of zombie, you're going to want to worry about this because it's probably spread this way, these kinds of things. It was cool.
Pictures. Are there pictures?
There's a couple diagrams in it.
Because I don't read any books without pictures.
You don't read any books?
You know this.
So there are diagrams, but not a ton of pictures. It's like a textbook.
Yikes.
Textbook.
Tongue,
No
a diagram is a
pictures.
picture with writing.
Yeah, it's like a picture that's meant to
Diagram.
Like a comic.
kind of.
Okay.
Okay. There was a version of this book that I did get, and it was like a sequel book to it, kind of, because in the zombie survival guide.
So you survived a zombie apocalypse.
Pretty much. Now what? There's like a spin-off book because in the zombie survival guide they talk about. Wait, was that? Yeah, that must have been. They talk about some like fictionalized stories or something like that.
Okay.
And then there's a comic book made of those stories. So I could give that to you. It's kind
Sure.
of like
Give it
is
to
a
me.
comic book.
Just give it to me. I need to know.
But yes, Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks.
Taylor, give it to
Tom.
me.
Okay.
Give
Only
it
because
to-
you asked so nice. I am going to stick with my British imports, and I'm going with 28 weeks later. Psych, it's 28 days later.
Oh,
Nobody
my
likes 28
God.
weeks.
No, I was gonna
I
say
thought I was gonna slap
haven't
you
even
over the
watched that one. And it's a good one. 28 Days Later.
28 Days
That's
Later
a
is
good one,
way
yeah.
better
That was
than
a
28
game
weeks.
changer. That was a game changer of a movie. Is that what gave us Fast Zombies, Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something I was going to bring up is that I hate fast zombies. They don't make sense. I think it was actually Edgar Wright himself who said being dead seems like it's kind of a hindrance. It's not a energy drink.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that they're running. And I agree with that. But with 28 Days Later, the thing with that is, as you guys know, it's not actually the undead. It's not a zombie plague per se. It's the rage virus. So it's this virus that just infects people and it basically shoots their adrenaline up. It just puts them into a pure
It's like rabies,
state.
right?
It's hyper rabies, basically. They break into an animal testing facility, some activists do at the start of the movie. They unknowingly release a chimpanzee that's infected with this rage virus, and then that's how it spreads.
It's always
for-
an animal.
Dude, I've always hated chimps, man.
Well, you're not
There you go.
going
They'll rip
to
your
be on
face
top
off.
5 chimps, man.
I should be.
That's the one where it's just a single drop of blood, right? Like can
Yeah,
make you
that's
go
all it
crazy.
takes.
Yeah, like one guy gets it in his eye. Brendan Gleeson gets it in his eye.
It is
his
Brendan
eyeball,
Gleeson.
right?
Yeah, and what's her name? Cillian Murphy. And what's her name? She
I will
hasn't
look
done
it up
much. She hasn't done much since it though. That's the problem.
But yeah, it's super interesting. So it's not just the bite, or there are a lot of these tropes that we do know from zombie movies, but they do kind of reinvent it in their own way, and they make it their own. Sorry, her name is Bindu Distapani. Oh no, I don't. I can't find her here. Naomi Harris. There she is.
Okay.
Sorry. IMDb was going by chronological order. That was the,
Yeah, no, 28 Days Later is so, yeah, I would agree. It was definitely a game changer at the time, and I got to rewatch that one because I remember 28
It's
Weeks
fantastic.
was not good.
I haven't even watched.
28 weeks later had an amazing opening scene. I don't know if you guys have
That's
seen
I
it,
think
but
the only
when they
part I've seen.
It's like they break into this cabin, all the zombies do, the infected do, and then the people are running away. But I just remember this shot. It's in the middle of the daytime, and there's someone just running over these beautiful green rolling hills, and then all of a sudden you just see dozens of these things running after him, and it is so unsettling. I always love horror that's shot during the day because we're kind of conditioned to think, scary things happen at nighttime, but when you put it in daytime in the full light of the sun, it is so scary because you're like, this is supposed to be my safe place, but we're not safe here, which is a thing that happens in 28 Days Later a lot too, actually.
Right.
I mean,
I was
Cillian
gonna
Murphy.
say, continue.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say he wakes up in a hospital. He doesn't know what's going on, and then he's walking through.
I gotta say, I'm realizing now, fucking Walking Dead ripped off 28 Days Later with the same opening, same beginning.
I feel like also 28 Days Later was like one of the ones where I realized like the zombies aren't the scary thing, the humans are, which I mean a lot of zombie things
That's
do
always
touch
the
on.
point a lot.
It
yeah.
is honestly often the point, but I feel like that was the first
you're
movie
right,
that
though.
drove it home to me where I was like, fuck yeah, like and especially with these like hyper intense like fast zombies, which are terrifying.
Oh, they're
I was
so
still
scary.
they are really scary, but I was still more scared by isn't there like I feel like there's like some
Yeah,
rapey
there's-
shit
there's
in
the-
there.
Oh, no,
yeah,
there is.
there's like rapey scary things in there that I
That's
was like,
another thing
fuck
that shows
the
up in all-
humans. Yeah, like oh my god.
Fast zombies, though, that was like the two words that would like freak out my sister. Just like, no, this movie's crazy. Their zombies can run, and she's like, wait, what? What the fuck? No, fuck no.
No,
It's like
yeah.
that freaks
But
I
that's
give
not
up.
even the scary part
I
to
fucking
me in
give
that
up.
It kinda
movie.
is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
give up. There's no way. There's no way I'd
I
outrun
can't
those.
run now. Fuck no.
Yeah, it's true.
I can
Angus,
outrun-
we're gonna miss the bus. You're like,
Fuck
no.
it, man. Fuck
No.
it, man.
They're waiting for you. The bus is
Nah,
stopped.
it's cool, man. That's too far, dude.
He's waving you down.
Going
He stopped
without me,
traffic.
I'm not gonna make it, and I just lay down on the sidewalk.
All right, we're going to round 3. Let's see. Oh man. Oh god.
It's a tough one, right?
It's tough because there's some. I don't think we can have this list without this movie, so I have to nominate it.
Really?
I don't think we can have this
Because I
list
think
without.
I'm about to nominate it.
I don't know if you will.
Tongue, why don't you go for one of your fun ones? And if it's something that
I already
really
did my
should have
fun
been
one.
nominated, I'm sure. Oh, okay, never mind.
I did my fun
Do
one.
it.
The
No, do
community,
it, Tom.
community was my fun one.
But that's a fucking great one, by the way.
It
too.
is.
Thank
good.
you,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Pull your thing right now. Do
Okay,
it.
it's the
Pull your
bagel
thing.
belt.
No,
my God.
no. I know what you're about to do, and do it. It's got to be done.
You do?
I think so.
I'm nominating a 1968 movie.
Okay.
George Romero.
Mm-hmm.
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, the one that started it all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you. That was my third nom.
No, sorry, the remake. Oh, no kidding. Actually,
I don't think there was a remake
there
for
was.
Night. No, it was Dawn that got the
Nope,
remake.
Night got it.
Dawn of the Dead had a
1990.
remake.
When did they remade Night of the Living
That
Dead?
was the first Night of the Living Dead I've ever seen. Was the remake version.
Shit, man.
Because it was in 1990. I'm a 1990.
I've
kid.
seen neither. Tell me more.
Night of the
Oh,
Living
man.
Dead or George
Night-
Romero.
original.
Kind of. What would you say? Like he's the father of zombies, essentially.
Modern zombie.
modern-
Yeah, not kind of. Totally.
What we
yeah.
know as zombies,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yes.
all the tropes that you know of like slow moving zombies that
Flesh
when
eating.
when you bite into another person, you'll get infected and then you become a zombie. That's like the typical zombie slow moving.
Right.
It has almost all the tropes.
all the
we know.
tropes
Yeah.
is in this movie
Because it's
from
the
like
original.
you know your scumbag dude who kind of betrays the hero.
He's like, I gotta get
And
out of here.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's all
man.
about me. And then
Oh,
that guy
actually-
always gets his.
And it's to speak to Sam's thing. I believe it's also the first one, and it is the first zombie movie, the first modern one, the first one to be kind of like. I think people are the bad guys.
Yes, it's
because
totally-
it ends on like a thing about racism, and
Yeah,
it's like, oh
so
shit.
it totally does that too.
It-
I'll
a
spoil.
thing
I'll,
about- no,
I'll
it's-
spoil
it's a-
it.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a
it's a
good-
1968
Go
movie.
for it, yeah.
But yeah, it has all those like tropes of that. You have like the couple with the kid who's infected, and you're like, okay, is this like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a kid in
there's
the
a kid.
first one?
Yep, in the Night
Oh,
of the Living
wow, I
Dead, they have a
forgot about
kid, and the kid's bitten, and you're like, is the kid gonna be okay? So they try to get medicine for the kid. But the kid ends up being.
Well,
you know,
most of it takes place in the house, right? They get
most of
barricaded in
it
it.
gets
Yeah.
taking place in the house. You're right. What else? They have like teenage couple.
Is that the one where the guy's like, "They're coming to get you, Barbara.
They're
Yes.
coming for you.
They're coming for you, Barbara."
They're coming for you, Barbara. That's it.
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Great thing about Night of the Living Dead is 1968 features a
Black
black
lead.
protagonist.
Yeah,
Like he
amazing.
is the main character
Yep.
of that movie.
Does he die?
That.
So in the end,
Yeah.
he actually dies from his fellow man.
Yeah, they
He's-
shoot him.
Yeah, so there's a whole night of the Living Dead where zombies are coming out and
And
all
he
that
makes
stuff.
it.
He makes it through. He's hiding in the cellar. He comes out because the army has arrived. He
I
loo-
have seen this.
He looks
the
outside
remake,
the window to see who it is. They think he's a zombie. They shoot him right in the head.
I think it's ambiguous if they think he's a zombie.
Okay, maybe it's a little.
I forgot it was the army that shoots him. I thought it was like hillbillies. I might be
no,
thinking
it's the army.
Yeah, so I think it's a little Yeah, but they shoot him. Yeah, and it's a bummer. It's
Yeah.
a bummer ending.
But it's a bummer ending, but it's like, oh man, it gets like political in that way, right?
It does, yeah.
And you have all those like, you have the Molotov cocktails, you got the actually in this one, zombies are afraid of fire, I think it is, or they're weak against
yeah,
fire.
I think so. They're very susceptible to it, which doesn't really make any sense.
So the
but
two
whatever.
things, shot in the head, weak against fire. And
A couple things I just want to say about this. You guys are mentioning that it has a lot of the tropes in the movie, but just a way of phrasing it, I think they're not necessarily, especially at the time, they weren't tropes.
That's
he
right.
laid down the groundwork. He made the rules
Absolutely.
for
Yes,
zombies.
you're right,
They've
you're right.
become
Well-
tropes since then. I'm just like,
You're absolutely right. And also, they did not trademark the term zombie in that movie.
Well, that's another thing I was going to say. They don't call them zombies in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. They're referred to as ghouls. They weren't actually using the term
I
zombie.
think you're right. I think you're right.
yeah.
Yes.
They did in the next movies, but
Yep.
so leading up to this movie, the only movie that we've had referencing zombies was what was it, like 32 or something? But the movie White Zombie,
Yes.
1932.
Oh.
And like Angus mentioned earlier, zombies first came into the social
zeitgeist.
conscious, the zeitgeist, whatever. It was in Jamaica, and what they thought was that these voodoo witch doctors, they would bring the dead back to life, but they weren't flesh-eating ghouls like we were talking about. They were more so just mindless drones that would do the bidding of whoever resurrected them.
Right.
So that's what zombies were known. And then whenever George Romero came around and he did Night of the Living Dead, although he didn't call them zombies, he introduced, like I was just saying, all the rules, all the groundwork for the modern day zombie as we know it now. So this, Tuong, like you said, you can't understate how
important this movie
was.
is. Yeah, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
I actually watched most of the movie today on YouTube. There's just the entire movie is just on
Yeah.
YouTube. You can just watch it.
Yeah, there's some weird thing about the copyright for the movie, so it's like
Yeah, it's just
he doesn't. George Romero was like he's passed, right?
Oh,
Is he passed?
man.
Yeah.
he must.
So he did so much for the genre, and I believe received very little like credit or recognition. That was a hell of a
Bless
beer open.
you. No.
I wish that was me.
It could have been anybody.
Yeah, no,
He
great.
did so
great
much
nom.
for it.
That
Thank
was
you.
my third nom.
That was your
I'm
third?
glad you got it. yeah.
Okay. So I should have done a different nom. No,
Should have.
that was good. Sam, what do you got?
All right.
Final nom.
So I know. So I'm gonna play it like super lighthearted now. I'm like,
Do it.
you were getting really dark there with all this like
Hey, it's the Night of the
crazy
Living
shit.
Dead.
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna go probably like more the opposite direction than Zombieland. Like this is very, very, very bouncy. That was the best word I could think.
Did the Care Bears have a zombie episode?
No, I'm going
Blues Clues?
I'm going the game, the game, Plants vs Zombies.
Oh.
I
That's a
got
good one.
really into that game when I first started playing it. I played it on the 3DS.
wow.
It later came out on the phone. I played it first on the Game Boy or whatever.
I thought it was a phone game first.
It
was.
was it a phone game first?
was a phone game
might
first.
have been.
Yeah.
So the original one, it might have come out on the phone. Then I got it on I played it predominantly, I think, on the DS, but it was the same game. And then they released a sequel on the phone. But the very first one, it's like a tower defense game, and the
So good.
zombies are super cute. And it's a really, really just good game. Like there's different kind of plants that do different attacks, and you just don't want the zombies to infect your lawn.
I think I'm gonna download
And
it now. It's really good.
there's like a crazy Pete who's like, get these zombies out of here. And like he's kind of a character that's just like, help me, like don't let the zombies get through my lawn. And you
Right.
like get them with lawnmowers and shit. If that's like a little
they
last
did,
defense, that's the last line of defense is the lawnmowers.
They did like 3 of those games, I think.
Yeah, there's a new one they just released that
Garden
looked more.
Warfare?
Yeah, which is like
That's the third one of those.
yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
They keep getting more and more intense, and like I feel like the newest one was like 3D, and like it wasn't the same like top down kind of like defense game. Which I mean, what's the charm for me? I'm specifically nominating the first one
Yes, that's
because
good.
it was really, really, really fun and simple, and like you unlock the new plants as you go that
was,
have
like-
different like abilities to like lob or this or that or kill the
Yeah.
zombies. And I just thought it was like a really fun, clever game.
Yeah, it was.
Clever is like a
Yeah.
main thing.
It was like Angry Birds
Well,
era.
so controversial
Yeah,
statement.
yeah.
I think it deserved more fame than Angry Birds. Angry Birds became like the biggest game in the world.
Got a movie, got 2.
It got two movies.
Man,
that's the thing.
Plants vs Zombies
I would
is way
love
better.
a Plants vs Zombies movie or TV show.
Yeah.
Sam, could you make an animated Plants
I
vs. Zombie
could.
show?
You know what, guys? We should.
Yeah, what
just
kind
do
of
it.
plant
We
would
should just do
Angus
it.
be?
Angus would be the potato one.
Thank you. The landmine?
Yeah. The landmine potato.
Wow.
All right.
I don't
I'll
know.
take it. I was expecting coconut because they're
here's
big and
something.
hairy.
Sam, you've never met Taylor, ever. This is the first time you ever
Oh
talked to
yeah.
him.
What do you think?
What kind of plant would he be, based on his voice? Taylor,
Okay.
give us a soundbite here.
I'm
Great.
I'm a plant.
Perfect.
All right. He's a plant. I'm trying to remember all the different
Like a
plants in the
dying
game now.
It doesn't have, you can invent. You can invent.
I can invent
Just what kind of
plants?
plant?
That's even more pressure now. I mean, maybe
I want to be a hydrangea.
Ooh. Okay, so maybe you're one of the sunflowers that doesn't actually do any damage, but they just give you
That's-
sun points.
Aw, because he brightens our
Exactly
day.
right.
That's exactly what Taylor does.
I'm like, I'm back here if you need me, but don't.
but
Yeah.
don't make
You still-
don't make him fight.
You need to protect them because they're giving you your sun.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
You put them in the last
Taylor
one.
is
Yeah.
famously frail, so
That's true.
Tongue-
Did somebody leave a window open?
I would have said beanstalk because I think he's also famously
there's
tall.
pea shooters.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, so
shooters.
tongue would be the football zombie.
I'd be
The
a zombie.
football zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a
No,
zombie.
no, no.
I
Oh
No,
see.
yes,
you'd
and my
probably be,
favorite sport, football.
You'd probably be the one that isn't there one that spits fire? I think you'd probably
Yeah,
because your
yeah.
rapping is really good.
There's so many
Wow.
add-ons.
My
It's such a
rapping.
good
Yeah, you
game.
spit hot fire, bro.
Oh wow, great! Thank you. Angus,
Shit.
spit me out a last nom here.
I should have been thinking about this while we were doing this because I've got this list of noms, and a lot of them have been picked. A lot of them have been mentioned.
Like,
Hey, go with your heart, man. You came up with a couple. There's some good ones out there that you're missing.
I've got one.
Is it your heart? Are you going with it?
No, I'll save it for the honorary mentions, and I'll make deep eye contact with Sam because I know if I were to nominate it now, she'd get right on board with it. But I think it's a weird technicality one because it's not. I can't. We'll get into it later.
Okay. But you did mention one earlier. I'm not gonna.
I am going to stick with video games.
'Kay.
And I'm going to nominate one of the best video games of the last console generation, if not the best, The Last of Us.
I was
go.
hoping that would come
Great
up.
game.
Yeah.
And that for me was a big one. And once again, the way the zombies, and they are zombies, right? They are.
There. Yes.
I think we can. So they are infected with something called cordyceps, which is a real world fungus.
I gotta talk about that later.
Oh my god,
I'll talk about that
it's
later.
terrifying. And so it takes over ants and other bugs, and it takes over their brain.
Wait.
Let-
This is a real
This
thing.
is a real thing,
All right.
100% real thing.
I'll bring it up now because
Please.
Angus is
It
okay.
makes
This
them-
was going to be one of
I'm
my
upset.
honorable mentions,
Please.
although I was actually going to nominate it today because I just found out about them today.
You just found out about what today?
the
Cordyceps is real. I knew
Yeah,
about it
but
before.
I didn't know.
Oh, man,
You've
it's
never been
scary.
on crack.com?
Yeah, bro.
No, I don't.
Back when it was good.
I've listened to the podcast, but I haven't.
I'm
actually done
scared.
this.
Oh, cordyceps.
All right, okay. The Ophiocordyceps unilateralis fungus has just one goal: self-propagation and dispersal. Researchers think the fungus found in tropical forests infects a foraging ant through spores that attach and penetrate the exoskeleton and slowly takes over its
Oh,
behavior.
zombie ants! I've seen this on Big Planet.
And it has this whole thing. I won't
They
read the
climb
entire-
up super high, and then once they get as high as they can, a thing sprouts out of their head or their body.
Yeah.
And it showers more spores down, thus propagating the cycle.
And
And
then,
then they die.
They take
Oh,
well.
they're
First,
dead.
they take control of the ant, and then they kind of disintegrate its body
Yeah.
and use its like disintegrated
Yeah.
like body to create more.
Yeah, and it does spiders and stuff like that. I think it hits tarantulas. The premise of the game, though, is that it jumps to humans.
Yes.
And now that you've got these humans that have these spores, and their heads basically become these mushrooms. Their heads basically become a fungus.
Yes.
And they're called clickers, and they echolocate. They click with their teeth. They click with their mouths and their teeth, and they sound wave. Their head is shaped in such a way that I believe it receives the vibrations back, and they can kind of tell where you are.
I'm gonna cry.
So you have to be really quiet.
I'm upset right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's terrifying.
I don't like
And the the animations they play when
Taylor,
one of the zombies gets you.
Have you
oh.
played this game, Taylor?
No, I was just going to say, completely separate from this, I started playing this game on Monday.
On Monday?
So,
Oh, you have started.
yeah, like this past, yeah, like I
What did you
literally
think
just
of that
randomly-
opening?
Dude.
It's so good.
Very good.
It
very,
almost
yeah,
made it
very-
choked me up.
Dude.
And I think it's a fucking great ending or great ending. I think it's a great game. And I think if people don't like the ending of the game, I don't think they were fucking paying attention.
Well, don't spoil it for Taylor.
I won't.
But
it's a good fucking game.
It's a
though.
good fucking game. Great story.
I'll
Naughty
spoil it for
Dog.
Sam after
Same
this.
people. Who,
I've already got it spoiled. I asked though because I wasn't gonna play it.
Yeah.
Same people who made Uncharted. Same
Uncharted.
people who made Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Naughty Dog.
Great.
You're also forgetting the excellent Jack and Daxter series.
Yeah, that's right. Great nomination, Angus.
I think we got each other's then. Yeah.
Yeah, we got each other.
I got you
That's
back.
good. That's
Hey,
good.
I got your leg.
Hey, I got your leg.
'cause I'm biting
that's
on
not
it.
a leg.
Taylor, one last nomination. What do you
us
got?
Oh God, like same problem that you ran into. I'm looking at my list. We've gone through so many of them.
That's good though. We're very thorough.
Yeah, it's good. For you. You know what? I think I'm gonna go to a little 2016 movie. Another import. Train to Busan.
Oh
Yes!
my God, good one, dude.
Oh, great movie.
I don't even know what to
Train
spell
to
here.
Busan.
What is this?
Busan.
Yeah, South Korean zombie flick, and I don't think I'm alone when I say
It's
I
great.
think a lot of us kind of got zombie fatigue in the past 5 or so years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've all just kind of burnt out on it with the Walking Dead and all. They were everywhere for a while. And this movie came out in 2016, and honestly, very refreshing.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was a good kind of shot to the arm for but just what the genre almost needed. So basically it takes place on a bullet train. These people are on a bullet train whenever a zombie outbreak
Yeah, I think
takes
it's
place.
Seoul to Busan, so it's like a couple hours. It's like a long train ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got all these just different character archetypes, and that's what really, it's not too deep of a movie, but it's just fun as hell. It definitely has fast zombies in it.
Oh, they're so
And
fast.
so, wasn't it the thing with those zombies is that like when it's dark, they kind of just freeze and they don't do anything in the dark? Or is it the daytime? Because the train goes through a tunnel.
Yes.
Yeah, the
it's-
train goes
that's
through
the dark.
It's
right.
fucking awesome. The train goes through a tunnel and all the zombies just kind of stop
moving.
being
Yeah.
activated. And they kind of try to go through it and then it lights up. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's
such
great.
A good,
I would say it's almost just like closer to just a kick-ass action movie
Yeah.
than a horror.
Man,
It's just a lot
that
of
ending
fun.
is tense too.
Yeah. It is scary though.
Oh, it's very scary,
It's
yeah.
scary,
Oh,
but it goes. Yeah.
You fear for them. You get to know the characters, you like them, and then there's ones that you don't like, and you're like, I hope they get it. And then there's ones you do like, and they get it, and you're like, no.
Yeah, you know that
the young couple.
I forget his name, but that one guy who kind of like
The
wraps the
fucking
shirts around his hand.
Beefcake guy. He's gonna be in the. He's gonna be in the Eternals.
Eternals.
Yeah, dude.
I'm so
That's
stoked.
awesome.
Dude,
yeah.
he fucking like puts like phone books around his arms, and he just fucking
Yeah.
like decks zombies. It's great.
Yeah, that movie
And
has a great like
It's good.
wave
There's,
where it's
there's the Korean baseball team.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so much.
it goes
fun.
from like mystery to like legit scary, and then there's like somewhere in the middle where it's just like, no, you're as brave as these characters who kicking ass,
Yeah.
and then it goes horror again.
Yeah.
It's all over the place, and it's really
And then
really
it gets
good.
heartbreaking, and then there's some good
And
stuff.
it's good heart in there
But
too.
it's just filled with like fwah moments.
Yeah.
Like, we're like,
So
fuck yeah.
I was watching a lot of Korean movies at the time actually, and it came out. I was watching a ton of Korean movies, and a lot of them are like super depressing, at least the ones I've run into. And this one I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what their take on a zombie movie is, because I think of it as a very Western thing. But it was wild, and they have a great take on it. And it's the kind of movie where it's like, oh, they get a lot of the stuff in there that you're like you kind of you need for a zombie movie. You need to set up the rules and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and then they introduce their own cool things of like setting it on a train is a fucking great idea.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
I absolutely love. Another South Korean movie that I believe came out in 2016, but The Wailing. It's another kind of Korean zombie
Oh,
flick.
I haven't seen that one.
Something that I absolutely love about horror movies from different countries is we are so conditioned. We know, the story structure is like, oh, it's a vampire. I know how to beat them. You know what the characters have to do.
Yeah.
But what's great is if you watch a Finnish or Swedish or Korean or Japanese or Iranian movie, like these horror movies, they introduce these creatures or monsters or demons, what have you, that we as Westerners are not as familiar with. So you're watching this movie and you're just like,
Yeah.
I have
They
no
have
idea
different-
what is going to happen next.
it's a
and
different rule set.
It's fun.
Taylor,
Yeah.
you should watch Rigor Mortis. It's a Japanese movie. It's a
Mortis.
Japanese movie. I believe it's a vampire movie.
Sounds
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Scary.
I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, it's
you should
fucking-
watch Rick and Morty. What?
You should watch Rick and Morty. Ooh,
Have you heard this little
did
show?
they have a zombie
I
episode?
don't know. Hey, listen. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We gotta stretch it out here. Practice our cardio because obviously we're gonna need to do some
Yeah.
running away from zombies soon enough.
Oh,
The
yeah.
apocalypse is
Have
coming.
you had these dreams where you have to run away from zombies?
Oh my
Because I've
God.
had a few, and I've
I
never,
call 'em
I
dreams.
never win. I always die.
All right. Well, we're gonna work on that on the break, and when we're back, we're gonna rank some zombie things.
Whoop whoop.
Jesus Christ.
There's so many of them, man.
My God. They are relentless.
They're not that bad, you guys.
No, they are terrible.
terrible.
Wait a sec. Where did you get all that fancy all that fancy zombie.
You got a chainsaw? You got a machete? You got
We
a...
have so many. Can we have?
Yeah, you guys are amateurs. How long have you been out here?
It's been months,
It's been-
weeks. I don't know. I
We
don't have a calendar.
watches. I can't charge my Apple Watch.
I know. I could order these things.
Have you ever been bit before?
No.
No.
Have you?
What?
You've been bit?
Oh, several times.
Oh my God! What do you? Okay, wait. This is the secret. When you're bit by a zombie, what do you do?
You look them in the eyes and tell them to go fucking home, and then you get on with your lives.
Wow.
You've been doing it so wrong.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't know.
Maybe I could get some self-help books or something to build my confidence.
Just don't be pansy ass bitches.
okay.
Pansy
well,
ass bitches?
pansy ass
Yeah.
bitches.
Don't be pansy
Okay,
ass
we
bitches.
can do this.
We can do that.
Can you?
Yeah, we have access to the internet.
Yeah, we have
can-
access to the internet. Still works.
The internet still works?
The internet still. I'm getting internet.
You are?
Wait a sec. Let's go.
Hold
oh
up,
my God.
nerds. What are you using the internet for?
We're gonna do exactly what you probably did, and we're gonna go to Amazon.
What did I probably do?
Amazon?
Go to Amazon. Amazon.ca.
Oh my
Wait a
god,
sec.
I did go to Amazon,
Wait a sec.
you
Wait
guys.
a sec. Wait a sec. This link looks slightly different.
Yeah.
I think this is the Pod Cavern affiliate link.
Pod Cavern affiliate. Like, it still exists. Oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
It still exists.
Oh my God! All we have to do is go to podcavern.com,
Calm.
get the Amazon affiliate link. I have it saved in my browser.
Just in case.
Just in case. So
Just a shortcut.
It just says Amazon. So when I want to go to Amazon, I click on that shortcut link. It takes me through the affiliate link. And then all the stuff that I buy
Yeah.
doesn't cost any
Holy
more
crap.
or any less.
That's what Sam probably did. She didn't
That's what-
share that
Sam,
with
is
us.
that what you did?
I can't believe you guys are surprised by this. This is what I do all the fucking time.
But wait a sec. If the money, if it doesn't cost more, why do this?
to support your friends.
To support the Pod Cavern. The Pod
Oh.
Cavern still exists.
They get some money?
The zombies cannot touch the Pod Cavern. It's a sacred
Oh,
place.
It's sacred ground.
They can't bite the internet. That's
So
impossible.
We'll say,
They can bite you and you will thrive.
right, and we just have to tell them to go the fuck home.
That's right. We
Yeah.
can tell them to go the fuck
and
home.
also use the Amazon affiliate link at podcavern.com.
Both of those things.
Both of those things.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this.
Go the fuck home!
Sam survived without us. Click on the Amazon affiliate link forever.
Duh.
Top five.
Boom, boom,
Boom, boom, boom, boom, boom. Oh god. Oh my god. Angus, Sam, Taylor, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've been running
Toads.
for minutes.
Oh, you guys were running?
I was
Shit.
running.
I was using this scooter.
I was on a pogo stick.
You got one of those e-scooters, the
Yeah.
ones that you put coins into, and
Yep.
then you can.
Yeah, it's a
ride it
bird, bird scooter.
It's,
Oh,
a,
okay.
it's a bird scooter.
And you
Wow.
put coins in, or I use my phone?
You use your phone? Wow, I can't believe the phone
When
still-
and she's got the pogo skit.
Oh jeez, I've been running this entire time.
And Taylor's just safe in Vancouver, so you know.
Well, we're running towards him.
We're-
'cause he
he's
has
got
this-
the
this
safe haven.
safe house.
I assume you live in like a fancy building.
No, just slowing it.
Yeah. It's,
Yikes.
he's well protected there. And you know what? While we were running away from the zombies, of course, we were, talking about our list here. And our list right now. Angus, do you want to do the honors? I
Oh my
never let
God.
anyone else do this.
Oh
Wow,
my-
really?
What?
Okay, this is the order in which they were.
Co-host Angus?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the order in
This
which they
is
were
bullshit.
nominated.
Bullshit.
Zombieland,
Mm-hmm.
World War Z, Resident Evil 4, Shaun of the Dead, the Community episode, Epidemiology,
Mm-hmm.
Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, Dial Z for Zombies,
Yep.
Zombie Survival Guide,
You got this, man.
28 Days Later, Night of the Living Dead,
Okay.
Plants vs. Zombies, The Last of Us, and Train to Busan.
All right. Wow. You got a career ahead of you, man.
Really? You think I could
I
do
think-
it?
Hey, Sam, question for you. Do you think it's weird the one guy that didn't write down the list got special privileges?
Well,
I do think
can
it's
can I
weird.
reveal something?
Yeah.
One, Taylor, sometimes you sound like a robot while we're talking to you.
I am a robot.
And two, Sam doesn't know how to say the word Busan. So
No. We'll let her redeem herself. Go ahead and say it.
Busan.
Ooh, not quite. Not
man?
quite.
I didn't want our
It sounds weird
Korean
when you say it.
listeners to kind of come up.
So I said it.
Yes.
And-
Fuck me for trying, man.
Okay,
man.
well, let's move on.
We don't have a lot of South Korean listeners, but a huge contingent in North Korea.
North Korea. Best Korea.
Oh, yes.
And
right.
I'm the bad guy.
So we rescind that from Angus, and
What?
nothing.
Hey,
Guys,
they pay me.
guys, let's focus here. We have a list to create here, a top 5 list.
Yes.
Otherwise, we will be eaten. This is the last thing we'll do on planet Earth before we're toast.
Jesus.
Could be the
Christ.
last thing.
I figured if we gave them the list and they approved, they wouldn't eat us. But shit,
Well,
sounds like we're
I
gonna die
think
either
if
way.
we finish this podcast, we give it to those science geeks, and that's our passage in to get.
As long as the
Fury.
Well, that's the
conservatives
thing.
don't get nominated.
That's
am I
right.
right?
Oh man, getting
very
political.
topical.
Getting
Yeah,
political.
topical.
I guess the
Okay.
podcavern now has a political stance. Uh-oh.
The P stands for political. All right, guys,
Brains.
we gotta.
I think a podcast full of improvisers always lean to specific direction.
Yeah.
That's right. Guys, we got to star some shit.
All right.
This is tough because I'll be honest, this list is kick-ass.
This is
This
a solid
is a
list.
stellar
This
list.
is good. There's, even the ones that are a little like kind of off the wall, quote unquote.
I'm gonna say no
are
bagel
still
belts.
really good.
There's no bagel
No,
belts.
no bagel belts.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna say the one that tickled me the most, and like it tickled me. The community episode, epidemiology.
Ooh, I do like that. I
like it
that.
too. Taylor, do you like that?
I do like that episode, but I was talking to a couple people about this list, and I brought this episode up to everyone, and nobody knew what it was.
Well,
People
they're
that are
just-
fans of Community.
Bad.
Really?
What?
Wait
How
a
do you-
second.
What?
Fans of Community don't know this episode?
Yeah,
That's
and I was
weird.
like, like Troy, he's wearing
It's
the
kind of
the
a big episode.
mech loader suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this.
That's so
didn't
weird to
maybe
me.
Well, what do
have the
you
last
think?
impact.
So I watched
I would
Community.
definitely take a Simpsons episode over that.
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
Interesting.
We'll start it. Let's start it anyways.
Yeah, I have it starred. I mean, so I'm like really late to the game in most things in life. And so Community, I only just watched like 2 years ago for the first time all the way through. And I really liked it. And I must say, like, I can't quote it to the top of my head. I don't remember it. Like, so if you were asking around with people, I'm not like, oh yeah, I remember that episode. But like, I feel like Community just does like satire of like modern tropes so well. And I
Yes.
remember it being good. Like, I don't remember the specifics. I've seen it like once, but I remember being like, fuck yeah. Like they really hit the like nail on the head with their like, oh, this is what we do. And we're going to make a funny spin on it. And I feel like they do it really well.
Yeah, they
You
take
know?
that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say that hasn't been said already, but it's exactly that. They take this genre
Broad
and it's
trope.
just make it so funny, and there's some good heart moments in
Yes,
it too.
that's what I was going to come to. Like the Simpsons episode's quite good. Just talking about another holiday special. However, the through line, like the story in that episode, has impact on the rest of the series.
Yep.
Like it's not like a non.
Yeah, it's
the
not a
episode
one-off.
is canon,
Yeah, and there's a
which I think I give it a little more points for. No, I still love Jurassic World.
No, I agree, I
conflict
agree.
with Troy and Abed in that
They
episode.
have
that
friendship.
is
They learn to be themselves.
exactly.
I
Which
feel
is
like
really
all the
awesome.
Troy and Abed like episodes are really like deep in these
Oh.
weird fantasy like
Yeah,
things,
that's the
right?
two best characters in the show.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like great, but they always come to their like big moments in these like high fantasy,
Exactly.
like
Well,
satirical.
And
episodes.
Troy in that episode is just like, I
Yeah.
want to be like Jeff, who's just the cool guy. So I'm going to dress up as sexy Dracula. But it turns out he had to just unleash just be a nerd to kind of save the day and turn down the AC unit,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, just gotta get
Or
those
the
fevers under
thermostat.
control.
Um,
Not how fevers work, but okay.
let's star it and we'll
I
move
started,
on.
yeah,
We'll star and move
yeah,
on. Taylor, you want to star
Yep.
one?
So my number one pick, Shaun of the Dead. That is definitely one that I'm going to gun for. Probably the only one that I'm coming for hard. But I mean, if we're talking about something that satirizes the genre, I think that this does it tenfold better than Community did in that episode.
It's
Wow.
true. As
Fair,
far as
fair.
You know what?
satirical
You're right.
stuff goes,
That's not bad. That's not bad.
But that's the thing. Like, so I feel like that movie, Shaun of the Dead, uses zombies in a perfect way. It's almost like an accent. Shaun of the Dead tells an amazing story. They did, like we're talking about before,
True,
Walking
true.
Dead. They did that We Are the Walking Dead before they did, because the whole thing, it's about family and friendship, growing up and moving on. The whole thing is Sean, and like you mentioned earlier, Sam, how you didn't really like Nick Frost's character. But the thing is with Sean is he's kind of trapped in a Arrested Development, if you were. They're stuck. They're children. They're just playing games and stuff. And the whole movie is we're using zombies as a metaphor to push Sean to get out of his bubble. You know, he's always in the same rut. They have amazing scene in the beginning where Sean gets up and does his daily routine. He goes to the store, and then
I was gonna say I love that scene. I was gonna bring that up if you didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't even notice that the zombie apocalypse is broken out because like people, you know, everybody pulls out their cell phones at the same time. People are just doing all these things, and like you don't notice that these people are zombies.
Right.
But yeah, the whole movie goes on, and it pushes Sean to get out of. And like in the end, spoiler: Nick Frost does get bitten. And like that is his thing. He's like, okay, I need to let this part of the childish part of me die. But then, you know, at the end of the movie, he's just in the shed and they're still playing video games, the thing that he wants to do. But it's almost like he took that part of himself and he moved it to the back. Like it's like a metaphor, right? Whereas like he still has this part of himself literally chained up in the background where he can play video games that he can go to whenever he wants, but he has moved forward. And I think
I think that's a valid. Everything you said is valid. I think it deserves to be starred.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
Especially since you have such a passionate argument behind it. I can't dispute that. And actually, I love Shaun of the Dead.
I wouldn't dispute
Shaun of the
it
Dead's
anyway,
awesome. And I think the other one that's not on my list that I would star is Last of Us.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, honestly,
Truly.
Speaking as the person who also nominated something I read a third of, I also never played or touched The Last of Us, and I would still vouch for it because I know the story and I've got people to tell me it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's like really
It is
cool.
an
Like,
insane piece of storytelling.
it's really. Oh wait, isn't
agreed.
Has he played
I don't
it?
know the story, but
He hasn't finished it.
He hasn't-
I
he
haven't-
hasn't
So I
finished
don't
it.
want to say any spoilers,
No
right?
spoilers.
No
that's
spoilers.
but all I've known is that people for years have told me that it's just one of the best stories, like video
Yeah,
games,
it's a great
movie.
story.
Truly.
They talk about adapting it to a movie, and I'm like, you don't need to. Just leave it as a game.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but like Josh Brolin and what's her name from Maisie Williams. And I'm just like, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
And you don't care.
I was
Like a
thinking
younger
Ellen
Ellen
Page.
Page, like a younger Ellen Page.
Well, Ellen Page, that's the thing is like if it was made
Like back in the day, yeah.
back when it came out, even when it came out, I think she was
too
still
old.
too old for the role.
But it's just that, and that's why it's one of the most anticipated games of this that's coming out in the next year or so, right?
Are they
Or next
making
year.
another one?
Next year? And I know we're gonna
Yeah.
have this argument of like they should have just left it alone, whatever. And
I would have loved an anthology series.
Sure.
I think you go to
But
different characters, but anyway,
they
that's
might be
all.
able to. I think with them,
I'm
that
sure
team,
it'll still be
they'll
great.
be doing
They've
a good
never.
job with it.
I don't want
Last of Us as a just a whole story is perfect, and it does the zombie thing incredibly well, and everyone should play it.
So here's my
Honestly-
thing, and I nominated it. If we only had one video game on this list, I'd rather it be Resident Evil 4. Not because so that's the thing. If we were talking about like, if this was a list of like best video games ever, I would be like, Last of Us could totally have a run for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is zombie things. And while the clickers are a cool take on zombies, I fucking love shooting zombies in
Sure. I
Resident
guess
Evil
it's
4.
tough. right?
I haven't played that game either, but I 100% get your argument where you're coming from
They're
with
both
that,
good.
and I'm kind of inclined to agree with you with that in terms of best use of zombies. The Last of Us, from everything I've heard, let's essentially say I haven't played it because I barely have, but it sounds like an amazing story, and it seems like a very character-driven thing where I don't know, if they substituted out zombies for something else in that game, maybe it could still work. I don't know. Again, I
I don't
haven't
know,
played it,
man. You should finish it, and then
So here's the thing. I'm happy with either one ending up on the list. I'm happy with either one.
Okay.
No one's jumped up to star Resident Evil 4 yet, so if it doesn't get started, it doesn't
That's
get started.
fine.
No big deal. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
that's fair. I think this topic's tricky in that sense,
It
right?
is.
But I do fear more for the clicker zombies than I did for the Resident Evil 4 zombies. Because there was a horror to Last of Us, which this doesn't mean anything to Sam because she didn't play this game. But like in Last of Us, it's all about kind of sneaking around and whatever to
Yeah.
kind of take down these clickers, these zombies one by one. And if you fuck it up and they hear you, you pay for it in the way that they just fucking
Yeah.
screech at you. They're like, "I see you, motherfucker! I'm coming for you," and it's scary.
So both
In Last of Us?
In Last of Us,
both games made me feel fear.
I'm like a big pansy ass
Yeah?
bitch.
Yeah.
Like I
mentioned
I
this
can't. I know, and I don't have any other terms because like I don't want to just keep calling myself a pussy, but like
Yeah.
I honestly. I'm very weak when
cool
it comes
thing
to
was-
horror.
You're yellow.
I am what? Sure.
You're yellow.
I'm
so
scared.
with-
I'm scared all the time.
With The Last of Us, one of the things they do that freaked me out in The Last of Us is when a zombie gets a hold of you, and generally in these games, like especially in Resident Evil, when they get a hold of you, they cut your head off or they rip your guts out or
I'm
whatever.
terrified.
And you see it happen in Resident Evil. But in The Last of Us, they basically grab you and they bite you and then they start like tearing away and then it cuts immediately to black.
Good.
And no, it's much worse because your imagination takes over.
Oh, no.
And you're like, oh my god, and it's only for a second, but you picture what happens next, and it fucks you up. Fucked me up. I
Oh
was like,
man,
my
I don't
God.
like. I'm scared already.
Yeah.
Okay, so like
Definitely
this
the
is
scarier
in the like vein of this, but like and nobody nominated it. I'm sure maybe it'll come up in Ani Mensch, whatever. But like Call of Duty, doesn't it also have like a zombie
it has a zombie
thing?
It's like an arcade.
Yeah, okay,
mode.
it's an
fun.
arcade mode, whatever. But I couldn't even take that. Like I remember the
It's
first
spooky.
time
They overwhelm you.
somebody put me into that, and I'd never like played a game like that before, and I was just like walking around minding my own business, and then these zombies come at you, and then the zombie dogs come at you, and they like shoot bees out of their mouth. I'm like, what the fuck? But no, seriously, like
Dogs that
it-
shoot bees out of the mouth.
that game was too scary for me. So like listening to you talk about these things, I'm like hard pass.
Yeah.
Like I'm too much of a wuss for this. And like
Question-
I like zombie stuff.
Yeah.
So like I want to play it.
You should play, or at least watch someone play it. Taylor,
yeah.
question?
Yeah, question. Okay, for you two guys who have played these two games,
Okay.
you, Tuong, mentioned that Resident Evil 4 was a pivotal game, but
Yes.
I didn't hear you say that about Last of Us.
Oh, well, Last of Us, I think, yeah, like
So it's different. So the reason why Resident Evil 4 is a pivotal game is because it redefined third-person shooters in a big way.
I think it had a
okay.
bigger impact on gaming as a whole, though.
Sure, but in terms of like to me, I love Resident Evil 4. There's a special place in my heart for it.
Yeah.
But like those controls, it doesn't like hold up as well as it does like on a regular type of
fair.
modern video game these
Yeah,
days.
but is
about
that like
10
saying
years
watching
older.
Night of the Living Dead doesn't
Sure,
hold up as well
sure.
as like a 2000?
But if I look at like a pure story-based kind of experience, and like even playing it mechanically these days, I mean, it's kind of hard to compare it right now. But in every facet, I think Last of Us, for me anyways, is a better experience. Even though Resident Evil 4 was like, a huge deal in video games at the time.
Sweet. I'm completely deferring to you two with these.
So one thing, just the last thing I'll say on it is they both have different types of narratives that I think
Yes.
bring across, but even in a structural sense. So like the Last of Us has a very strong literal narrative, but the Resident Evil 4 has, I believe, what's referred to as a ludo narrative, which which is more involved in kind of how you play the game, and they were the ones that pioneered like. I guess the other Resident Evil games did this, where it was like short supply of ammo. This kind of, it's not really the story; it's the way you play it that tells a narrative. I'm totally fine with Last of Us.
Yeah.
I would love if both could be on the list, but
Truly,
they
yes.
I don't think
Yeah,
they can.
I don't think they
So
can either.
I will say, while I think Resident Evil had a much bigger impact on the gaming
I will agree with you in that. for
forum
sure.
as a whole, a gaming medium, because it pioneered like survival horror games. Like everyone copied it forever, including The Last of Us. They definitely
Oh, yeah.
aped some of those things. But The Last of Us, great story. I'm fine with The Last of Us making the list.
Yeah.
So let's start. So we'll start
Sure.
Last
Let's
of Us,
do Last
not
of Us,
Resident
yeah.
Evil.
Yeah, if you like, it's just barely inches it out for me. But
Yeah.
like, I think for me, like when I think about those two games right now, and then you say, "What do you want to play right now?" I'll be like, "I want to play Last of Us again." Like, I want to experience that
it's true.
again.
I replayed Resident Evil 4 recently, like in the last year,
Yeah.
and I played it on the PS4 because they had the HD remaster,
Yeah.
and it was great. But the last little bit of it is really frustrating because the mechanics are
Yeah,
like
sure.
they haven't aged well.
Okay.
You're-
So Star Last of Us, we have Star Dial Z for zombies, Star
Oh,
Community.
we have the Simpsons one start.
Yep.
No, we
Oh.
don't.
Oh, I think we did.
No, we
No, we
start the
didn't.
community one.
I thought we
Community,
started
Shaun
both
of
of
the Dead,
them.
and Last of Us.
No,
are the
Okay,
only
so
ones.
let's talk about the Simpsons one. Is it out?
I feel like if we're gonna nominate an episode about zombies, I feel like
It'd be
Community over
Community?
Simpsons.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just with
I
the
know,
Simpsons,
I know.
no, I
I
agree
love
with
the
you.
Simpson
I agree
one,
with you,
but
though.
it just speaks more to the zombie.
No,
like,
it's more
stuff.
full of a.
Yeah.
There's more to it than the
yeah,
Simpsons.
yeah,
one.
yeah.
when I picture a Simpsons zombie episode, I honestly picture the one where Homer goes in the bomb shelter and then the mutants come out.
The Omega Man, Omega
yeah.
Man, or
Oh,
whatever.
that's a good one.
Yeah. I was about to say
This
last
is
one.
the withstander. It can take a 16 megaton blast. Nothing more.
That's like pretty late on.
Nothing
man.
less.
You're pushing it. You're
Yeah,
pushing
that's
it.
good. You
Nothing
know what?
less.
When I was googling the Simpsons episode, this is not a zombie one. I thought for a second it was, but it was when Wiggum shoots the basketball player, and he's like, "Oh, he was turning into a monster." it's one with like the lard
Yeah.
lad guy
Yeah,
turns
yeah,
big
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh,
Oh my god, the one where the signs come to life, the mascots come to life.
Yeah, exactly.
I
It's just
fucking love Paul Anka.
These monsters don't seem that tough. It's like, Chief, that was like the high school basketball player star or whatever.
Just turning into a monster. So we've got a bunch of ones here.
I mean, okay, hear me out here,
Yeah.
guys. I want to fight for this, even though
World War Z.
You
I
didn't
know,
finish the
even
book.
though I've only read the third. And like, hear me out. I just feel like I need to get this off my chest, and I'm not going to be super offended if we don't follow through with it. But I like World War Z for its like beginning. like the way it tells the story and the way it starts the story of the zombie stuff. Because in every other narrative we get, I mean, this one starts slow, which most don't. I mean, if you're a movie or if you're one episode, like you kind of have to get to the point quick, right? Whereas this one, I like seeing everybody's like confusion at the beginning, where you're like,
man.
what is happening with
You
these
should watch
people?
the movie.
Yeah, I've heard that.
No, you
okay,
shouldn't.
well, I mean,
Oh my
whatever.
God, the
I'll
movie's
watch
so
it when
fun.
I'm done,
Brad Pitt
and I'm
can do
sure
no
it's
wrong.
great.
love Brad
Honestly,
Pitt.
I
Let's
honestly,
all just take a Pepsi break and go watch.
yeah. I will
Oh,
watch the
yes.
movie. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I have nothing
Mountain
against it.
Dew?
I've never seen it, but from the book perspective, I love how it starts unfolding. I love learning about it bit by bit, and I think that that level of like, it's like how you would learn about it now, especially in the day and age of like the media where we are at, where it's like, oh, people are like hearing little like gossips and it's nothing big, and it's like, but then you keep hearing different people's perspectives, and just like the way it unfolds, I just feel like, and I feel like I only need the first third for that. It's just like so interesting compared to all these other ones where you start up in a hospital or you start up and there's zombies and this and that. Whereas this one, it's like, to introduce the zombies, I feel like is very interesting because it's like the whole world doesn't know about it yet. It's not like everyone's finding out about it all at once too, which I find very fascinating, where it's like they find out about it in Asia and then like they get a word of it in India and they're like, well, we kind of experienced something like that, and we figured this out because of this cartel or this or whatever. And like it's just like all these little like nuances that people get a hold of, and I think it's so realistic and it's so fascinating in that sense.
Has
So I
anyone
have to talk about
Has
it.
anyone else read the book specifically? Not movie, book.
I have not read the book, but I have it on my honorable mentions. I've not read it. I know tons of people who have read that book, and some that have read the Zombie Survival Guide. Of those two, definitely World War Z. And I did have that in my honorable mention as the book specifically because the people who have read it absolutely love it, and I'm backing.
It's so interesting and unique in its own way,
Let's
which
start.
I like.
At least,
I like
you
that
know,
how
you-
it's
you
unique
put a-
in
you
that
put
way.
At least we can start. And I think one other thing that we should star has to be Night of the Living Dead, right?
Oh yeah, that's.
I would agree, and I've never seen that either, but I agree.
It's really good. It
It's
holds
still
up. It's really good.
Fucking good, yeah.
Like
They're coming
Dawn
to
of
get
the
you,
Dead.
Barbara.
Dawn of the Dead is definitely Romero's best, but
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead just established all of
I
this.
will
and
say-
that
I'll
reason
save it.
I feel like we can't overlook.
yeah, it's like a legacy pick in the way that like it represents so much in the whole zombie culture, right? So it'd be crazy not to at least have it here present.
I agree.
And the only other one that I would fight.
Wait, what were you going to say, Angus? You were gonna say
Oh,
something.
I was gonna say because you said Dawn of the Dead was the best one. I was gonna say I have a soft spot for Land of the Dead, which is like
Oh,
the
shit! I know that one.
It's pretty bad. In fact, I believe Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg cameo as zombies in it.
You have cameos in it. Yeah.
It's like popcorn fun. It's like not a great movie.
Okay.
John Leguizamo's in it. Dennis Hopper. It's like fucking. It's
so that's
fun,
also
though.
a Romero
It's-
one.
it's-
They really take his kind of vision in, Dawn of the Dead. People start going into the malls and stuff
Yeah.
and doing what they used to do. But in Land of the Dead, like there's the one main antagonist is that like gas station zombie
and he, like,
who at one
learns to use
point
a gun.
sprays them with gas and
Yeah.
lights it on fire.
Yeah. Well, that one's more of a
Not
class
good,
one.
but, yeah.
That's like the difference of class struggle and stuff like that. But it's a little heavy-handed and it's fun. But it's an honorable mention. So yeah, Night of the Living Dead, World War Z, Shaun of the Dead, Community episode, Last of Us. So we've got to start making some.
So 1, 2,
Hard
3,
cuts.
4, 5. Is that 5?
So Simpsons episode not making it.
No.
I guess
No.
not.
Resident Evil 4 not making it.
No, Zombie Survival Guide not making it. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I
Okay.
understand.
The only other one I'd fight pretty hard for is 28 Days Later.
Yeah, it was a game changer.
It was fucking good.
I
could
didn't
I
like
do
that.
love that,
And-
but I don't know what it would nudge out of this.
And
list.
I'll say that because Shaun of the Dead's here, I can see it over Zombieland, even though I really love
Yeah,
Zombieland.
know.
yeah.
I
no,
love
definitely-
Zombieland.
I've watched Zombieland more times.
I think I've
but-
watched Zombieland more. I don't know if I have the only thing is I don't know if I can go head to head with Taylor on this
I
because
don't
you
know,
have
man.
way more passion for Shaun of the Dead than I do for Zombieland.
Yeah, no, I like Zombieland a lot. It's a ton of fun, but it's
so
just
much fun.
you
Amber
know,
Heard's
it's-
in it. I just that was
Who?
when I watched it today. I'm
Oh,
like
is she
Amber
the-
Heard's in
the
this
one in the
movie.
apartment?
Who is she?
She's the apartment girl.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, she's just
Who is Amber Heard? Why is she famous?
she
Never back
Mira
down?
from Aquaman.
Mira from Aquaman. Or Johnny Depp's ex-wife.
Well, I think we should rank her on the things she does and not the
Yeah,
men
no,
she spends her time
well,
on.
I'm just saying who she was.
Interacting with fools.
How about this? Let's, in honor of Leslie,
Sing a song.
Zombieland, more like Zombie Bland.
Yes.
That's a very Leslie thing.
It
Thought
is.
you were gonna say Gone Land.
Ooh, Gumby
Ooh,
Land.
also
I was
good.
gonna say Zombie Band, but then at the last second.
In honor
Man,
of,
you guys are so good.
in
at
honor
this.
of Leslie, ranked land.
Rank.
I thought you were just gonna tell the audience to fuck themselves.
Oh yeah,
Go fuck yourselves, audience.
And yeah, that's from Leslie.
Yeah,
we
that's
should have
from Leslie.
recorded a couple bites of him saying that.
Couple bites.
I'm gonna see him in a week or so.
Okay,
I'll get him
Plants
to get
vs.
up
Zombies.
out.
Oh God.
I
such
feel
a
like
good one.
we've already outed like
Train to
everything.
Busan. Train to Busan still hasn't been spoken for. Foreign film.
Foreign film,
But we've got 5 stars.
we do. But
We've got 5
the only thing is 28 days.
No, we
do
don't
we
have-
want to
28 days in Train to
The
Busan.
only one I would bump for 28 days would be Community, but you guys are caping for that, so I'm good. to
Okay.
let them.
So here's the thing. I would take out
World War Z.
No. You can't take a World War Z.
I like World War Z. I like the variety on the list as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, if I was gonna put only one book in it, I would have put Zombie Survival Guide.
No
World
way.
War Z, I
World War
could
Z
not
is
get
so
through.
Good.
So we have a video game, we have a TV special, we have a book, and then we have
3 movies, 2 movies.
2 movies.
That's such a well-rounded
It
list.
is a well-rounded list. So the 2 movies it would go up against is
So no Train
Shaun
to-
of the Dead
yeah.
or Night of the Living Dead, which seem kind of crazy. But World War Z, I have nothing for it. That's the only
that's my thing. It's,
But
it's-
you would if you read it. It's so good.
Are there pictures?
No, there's no pictures. But it's such a realistic count.
yeah,
of
no, people are
things.
crazy about it. So maybe that stays in then. I guess.
Man,
like,
the
I think
people
that
will
should stay.
riot. The people.
so yeah,
will
Taylor,
riot.
you nominated
Okay,
28
well,
days. You're cool with it.
And Community, we're all set on that too,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Yeah.
I love 28 days, but I think World War Z deserves to be on the
And
list.
so no, community episode
Stays, right?
Okay, and Train to Busan.
I love Train to Busan, but I think it's
Train to Too Bad.
Okay,
I'm learning, guys.
how about
I'm
this?
learning.
How about
Train
this?
to Busan,
Yeah.
spelled
Oh man, that's
Busan.
so much better. That's so
I'm
much
still learning
better.
improv.
Also,
guys.
this one. How about this? How about 28 days later?
Wow, you guys are so good.
Sam,
We gotta keep Sam around
Yes.
more. I just
Listen,
boosted
Sam.
my ego so
guys,
much.
if you're listening to this part of the episode, you already heard her kick-ass improv
Yeah.
in the affiliate link.
Oh
plug.
God, the commercial already? Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
so we have. Oh,
Let's read them together.
you know what? Sam, you read it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys,
Don't
this is a
fuck
first for
up.
me.
Things are different when Leslie's not around, guys.
Oh my god. So we have we've got I was going for
regretting
like
this already.
I was going for
Sam, just read the list.
sketchy
Just
thing.
read the
All right.
Skeksis. Deep Skeksis cut.
I'll just read the list. So we've got World War Z, Shaun of the Dead, the Community episode, zombie stuff. I don't know the name of it.
Epidemiology.
Epidemiology. Then we've got Night of the Living Dead, and we've got The Last of Us. But who will win?
Ooh, I like
Ooh,
that.
I like that.
spin.
I like that end.
All right.
It started off rough, but you landed really well.
Whoa,
so,
it started off rough.
6 out of 10.
Beg to differ.
Coming out of the gate hot. World War Z, number 5.
Ooh, no way, man.
It's a book. Are you kidding me? A book?
No pictures. Out.
We are past.
I would say Community number 5, but whatever.
Wow, I would push hard for Community. I would
know
actually have it.
Taylor,
Those
where you
two,
at?
I'm thinking 4 or 5. Juggle them, but
Really?
yeah, one of them.
Because my God, Community is for me.
I'm telling you, I don't think that episode had as big of an impact as you
Impact,
might
no.
As World War Z?
Impact, no.
a book.
Hell no.
What are you
Man,
saying
fuck
a
books.
book for?
Man, fuck books.
What has books ever done for us?
Yeah, name one.
Everything.
These books will never
Yeah.
catch on.
Man,
No.
fucking books are the way of the past. I'm talking about TV specials. That's
You know,
my
if
thing.
we didn't make so many books, we'd have more trees around.
Man, exactly. You know what I love? The Halloween episode of Big Bang Theory that probably had zombies in it.
Yeah.
Fuck that show, seriously though.
I
Fuck
love
Big
Leonard
Bang.
and
Oh,
them.
I love that they're all shitheads, but we all. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You guys are just ridiculous.
Okay. Let's come to a consensus.
Agreement.
They're
Democracy.
deflecting because they don't know how to read.
Apparently, they're like super against books.
Yeah,
Not my fault. You're Neanderthals.
Wow. I believe it's pronounced Neanderthals.
I believe you don't know anything, so doesn't matter.
Real talk. Complete side note. I was thinking about this when I was thinking of the list. Has there been a samurai zombie movie? Because we should make like a feudal Japan zombie.
Yeah,
movie.
man.
Good.
Guys,
Right,
can
no
I
guns, just
animate it?
blades.
Let's just voice act it.
Fuck, that'd be
Voice
dope.
out. Oh, Sam will animate it. She will.
I need to animate something, you guys.
Samurai zombie.
I need
don't
an
think
idea.
I don't think that Taylor and I should be doing samurai voices.
No, probably not.
Probably not. We can be
Shane
zombies.
Gillis
We'll
in
be
But
here.
tongue-
Oh, Shane Gillis?
Sam says I can do it, so even though.
Oh, she gave you permission? I don't know. I still think that's iffy, guys.
Hey, listen.
It's a big part of the
Everything's
world.
iffy. All right, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Moving on. Moving
Yeah,
on.
exactly. I would actually love a Vietnamese samurai movie.
Hey, I'll bring it to you.
Okay.
All right. So where did
All
we
right,
land?
fine.
We
World War
landed.
Z5.
What? No, we landed on Community 5.
No, we didn't land on Community 5.
I think it's 2 for 2.
I think we're 2 and 2 here.
All right,
we're
so
two,
Night
two.
of the Living Dead 5.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, Sam. No.
Honestly, I can't think of anything. I can't even think of anything else that should be 5. I would say like World War Z5, Shaun of the Dead 4.
What? Shaun of the Dead
go
4?
frick yourself.
No way. No way.
I do
It's
it. I
fine.
think I'm with Angus on this.
Yeah, right.
What?
I mean, honestly, if I had my way, I
Okay.
love this. I love the Community episode so much. I could see it taking number 1.
No.
No.
Way.
Maybe not that much.
No
Absolutely not.
Easily
way.
number 3 though. Easily number 3.
What?
No.
With this crowd,
I
think it's
can't
gonna hit.
remember it.
I think with this crowd, at best, it's gonna hit.
Now,
4.
1 sec. Remind me about the book that you haven't finished reading that none of us have read or finished.
I think it speaks
We've
tons that I would vouch for something that I haven't finished. I
This
think
is-
that speaks louder than the fact that I can't remember something I did finish.
I think it speaks
I think
louder. I
nothing
just don't know if it
speaks
says the
louder
right
than
thing.
Sam at this moment.
What are you saying, Taylor?
I said I think nothing speaks louder than Sam at this
Yeah,
moment.
exactly.
Passion.
Okay.
You're right.
I'm just saying.
Sam's just passionate. Okay, Sam's just
Oh,
passionate. Okay.
No, I know. I respect.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
You know what?
Passion.
I'm gonna say.
Don't do it. Then. Don't cave.
I'm just gonna. No, I'm not caving. I truly believe, only based on because this entire table has not read the book and Sam's only read a third. I don't think it can go higher than
Right?
5.
Right?
I just don't think
And like,
that's
how
a lot.
often do books have
You
a
know what?
shitty
You know
ending?
what? Fine. I don't even care.
It's like a known versus
Fine.
an unknown.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's just unknown.
And it made the top 5.
it's an honor.
It made the top 5.
It's an honor.
Fucking Resident Evil 4 didn't
gonna-
even make top 5.
Not
That's the
gonna
best zombie
lie,
game ever made.
I've been on.
Who do
I've
you
been on her
sound
side,
like?
but I've had World War Z written in the 5 spot for a while now.
Oh, Taylor, you dog.
I can feel the tide. I know what way it's going, and yeah, the fact that none of us have
World War
read it.
5.
World War
I
5.
can't wait for Ani mentions, dude. I have so many.
Me too.
yeah, I have so many.
Okay. How about
Two.
this? Since you guys were not a big fan of it, how about this? Community 4. It's a bummer, and it's a knife twisting in my heart, but Community Epidemiology 4.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, 4.
Shaun of the Dead 3?
No.
Wow.
Higher.
What does it beat?
It's gonna be Last of Us.
Night of the Living Dead.
Really?
Or
Damn,
Night of the
dude.
Living-
You
I'd
fought
say
so hard
Last
for
of
Last of
Us.
Us.
So here's my problem here. Ready? I did. But here's my problem is I don't think I'm just reading the room here. These two I'm putting Taylor too. Is I don't think they'll let Last of Us hit 1. And I can't let Shaun of the Dead hit 1.
I would honestly.
Why not?
Of the 3 that are left,
As opposed-
Shaun of the Dead is the one I want to hit 1 the least. But it's
Out of
not
the
because I
ones
don't
that-
like it. I
It's not 'cause I
like
don't-
it.
yeah,
I like it a
I just
lot.
like those other ones
I just
better.
think those other ones have done more. Honestly, I know it's the water answer, but like Night of the Living Dead really should be number 1. It's so fucking good.
It's good.
It's so fucking good. And
But
everybody
I
who's
even
ever
mentioned earlier, like Dawn of the Dead is Romero's best zombie movie, hands down. That's not even on our list.
Is
But-
it? Is it though?
Yes.
I mean, it was so good that you didn't nominate it.
Yeah, no, because Night of the Living Dead needs to be on there in terms of the foothold on the list,
Is
but
that
I don't think
foothold
it's a number 1 movie.
Not.
That's fair.
I
That's a
would
fair
agree with
point.
Shaun of the Dead 3.
I'm coming.
Game has changed.
Shaun of the Dead number 3.
Here, this is what I would concede. Shaun of the Dead 3, and if Taylor pushes hard enough, I could see Last of Us 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got, Taylor?
I pictured Night of the Living Dead 3 and then toss up for the other two, honestly.
Really?
I would actually take Taylor's. I would take that. I mean,
What
I
do you got,
get
Tom?
that Night of the Living Dead is like
mean, it's getting-
influential
it's
and all,
getting
but
late.
I've never seen it, and
No, it's fair. I haven't watched none of the.
I've never
think I've
seen it, so
twice.
I don't care.
I saw it today. I think it holds up incredibly well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of like legacy, it's just like, you know what? If you watch it now, maybe you're not going to be as impressed because you know the beats of this movie because everything else stole it from this movie.
Number three?
Fair,
It's
fair.
like going back and watching Animal House, and you're like, well, I've seen all this before, and you're like, yeah. That's the
so I don't
point.
think
This
that's
started.
and to
Okay.
Taylor's point, I don't think it's a knock against it for that. And I think actually it's
Number
probably
3.
Night of the Living Dead 3.
Wow, I think so. I think it's happened, guys. Night of the Living Dead number 3.
I
For real?
want to give it Ani Mensch for being badass and setting
All right,
the
Night of the
paving
Living Dead.
stones.
It's better than Ani Mensch. It's number 3 on the list.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
that is better
You know what?
than Ani Mensch.
Number
It's
2.
black and white. I can't.
Oh
it's
God, I hate. That's
black
almost as
and
bad as. It
white.
might as well be a book.
Might as well be Citizen Kane.
Whoa.
Lame. Ugh, I don't want it.
Casablanca.
All right, Casablanca, best zombie movie.
Wow. So if that's the case,
Wow, I
then
just
it's Last of Us, number 1.
yeah,
I would
Shaun
say
of the Dead's
Last
not
of Us number 1.
right?
No, Last of Us number
Okay.
1. I agree.
Sean number 2, Last of Us number 1.
What?
I'm
Yeah.
saying that, man.
Taylor,
okay with Last of
what
Us.
is your consensus here? Obviously, you want Sean more, right?
No, I'm open to it. I'm flexible.
Holy
He
shit.
hasn't finished it. He hasn't
video
finished
game
it.
number 1. That is insane to me. This is
Honestly?
happening.
I
Yeah,
know.
I
it's
did say
happening.
earlier though, what I've heard of this story is it's one of the best
Oh,
stories.
dude, you
of
really
It's-
should.
TV
I actually kind of want
show.
to play it right now.
I
dude.
kind of do too. I'll play it, and my girlfriend and I will cry while it's playing.
It's so fucking. Guys, we have a list.
We have a
We
list.
have a fucking list.
Now wait a sec. Who should read the list?
Taylor should
Taylor.
read the list. I'm very generous today.
Your dude.
Yeah,
you're
what's
giving.
happening?
You're such a
What's
giver,
happening?
man.
Because I was
Dude,
bit.
are you
Guys,
Jeff Bridges?
It's because
What?
I'm bleeding out right
Oh my
now.
God.
Right?
Oh my god.
Amazing reference.
Yeah,
Let's-
thank you.
or-
Are you Jeff Bridges? Because you're the giver. But also, you've been bitten.
Thank you. Like Jeff Bridges was?
Probably.
Was
in-
Jeff Bridges big?
By the
Yes.
acting bug,
Famously,
am I
yeah,
right?
by the acting.
By
bug,
the
yeah.
acting.
Him and his brother, Bo Bridges.
I was going to say, I'm Lebowski's. No. I'm Jeff Bridges because I got true
Yeah,
grit.
because famously he never refers to himself as Lebowski in that movie. Famously, I'm the dude, man. Oh, fucking great movie.
Okay, Taylor, read it out.
Let's hear it.
All right, top 5 list of things with zombies.
Featuring zombies. You already fucked it up.
Featuring zombies.
Yeah, yikes.
Number
this is
5,
Sam
World War
Star.
Z, the book.
Oh,
Number 4, Community Season 2, episode Epidemiology. Number 3, Night of the Living Dead. Number 2, Shaun of the Dead. Number 1, The Last of Us.
Yeah. Ooh, spooky.
honestly, I'm warming up to it now. I fucking love The Last of
Yeah,
Us.
me too.
Yo,
And it
man,
almost
I
didn't make
never
it.
played, but I
And
love it.
it was at the end of that console generation, and I would say it almost defined that.
I think I
generation.
called in sick that day.
Oh, dude,
when it came out.
It came out around my birthday, I think. Oh no, that was Grand Theft Auto.
Sorry,
anyway,
Superstore. All right.
Sorry, Superstore. All right, let's fucking do this, guys. Let's fucking do this.
Let's do this. Okay, we're gonna go around
Shit.
Ani mentions rapid fire.
rapid fire. Make it spooky. Make it slow and shuffly.
All right, we got this.
Okay, we got this.
Angus says rapid fire, and you say
Slow and spooky.
Slow and
Yeah,
spooky.
but like a slow and spooky rapid fire.
Like a Train to Busan level.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Another Fast Zombie. Left 4 Dead 2.
Ooh.
Video game.
Oh.
Warm bodies.
Marvel Zombies.
I just read I read Marvel Zombies for the first time
pretty
today.
fun.
It was great.
Dawn of the Dead, Romero.
I just discovered this. It's a zombie run app on your phone.
I used that for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Just on a quick note on this, because people at home might want this. It's an app for your phone, Android or iPhone, where it's an inspiration for you to go running and track your progress,
Mm-hmm.
but it also tells you if like zombies are after you, so it'll inspire you to run
Yeah.
faster. But the more you run and the more like kilometers you put into it, a story unfolds.
Yeah,
so
it's cool.
It'll be like run to this like safe house. Oh, and this is gonna happen, but you got to run there first.
Yeah,
oh,
you're getting
zombies!
supplies and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a spin class where it's like, okay, now go faster because there's zombies chasing you.
Yeah.
Sam, you would not like it.
Honestly, I think it's hilarious that this weird app thing made it farther than The Walking Dead. Like, I'm gonna just say
man,
it
fuck The
now.
Walking Dead.
I know,
So
but like,
before we
I
say-
gotta say it. Like,
before-
we never
yeah.
talked about about it.
The
and
comic's
it's
fine.
like-
The show.
So we shouldn't.
we didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, let's not downplay it too much because like Walking Dead definitely
I liked the
defined
first 3 seasons.
this generation of zombie
enough.
lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the books were very good for
Yeah.
a very long time.
Comic books.
If anybody had have come through with Frank Darabont's pilot for The Walking Dead, I would have.
That's what I've heard. Like first
I
2
would've backed that.
episodes.
I
like,
would have gotten behind the
whatever.
comic.
Yeah,
The show
yeah.
I can't stand.
First season was good.
No, I'm like literally the first episode. And then
Yeah,
the comic.
yeah. The first
Yeah.
episode was good. Like waking up the hotel. Don't dead open inside.
Yeah. But everything else is not good.
All right. Please, okay. Rapid fire.
Whatever. Go continue.
Did you say Your Walking Dead is yours?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. World War Z, the movie. Just to touch upon this, I know people. It's a divisive movie. I think people as a whole though have to agree that the tidal waves of zombies piling up on top of each other is a very great effect.
Yes.
And it's
It was in the
really
trailer, yeah. It
it's-
goes across
Yeah, I
all
can
over the
picture
wall.
it from the trailer.
Video
I
games
never
have just
saw the
started doing
movie.
it now
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
can
yeah.
technologically compute it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Awesome.
Great effect. And I love me some Brad Pitt.
Some Brady P.
Oh my god. I love Brad
Bradley.
Pitt.
Yeah. Bradley PT. Taylor.
Fuck it. Speaking of fast zombies, let's go with 2004 Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder one.
Ving Rhames.
Listen, when I was 13, I thought that shit was
Yeah.
cool as hell.
It was pretty dope back then.
Fair enough. Dying Light. It's a video game.
Oh my god.
Very good.
I love that game.
It's really
the
good.
sequel looks great.
Yeah,
I forgot
it's
to put it on my list. Good
really
one.
good.
Good call.
So
Parkour
the
zombies.
comic series Undead with Archie.
Oh, Undead with
Ooh,
Archie.
cool.
Left 4 Dead, the first one. Because I liked the first one a bit more than the second one, but they're both great.
They're both good.
They're both great.
Taylor.
Actually, the second one was better.
2016's The Girl with All the Gifts. Has anyone seen that?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
Sounds like a
pretty
young
good.
adult novel.
It's a British kind of post-apocalyptic scenario, but it's
I have
the same
heard
sort
the
of
name,
thing.
yeah.
They're not like undead ghouls. It's a spore kind of
Oh,
similar
one
to
of
The
the
Last of Us or whatever that
spore
affects
ones.
these people. Yeah, and there's this one girl. They're basically trying to figure out how to live cohabitate with these things. No, they're trying to find a cure so that the people can. Yeah, it's very good though. It came out the same year as Train to Busan, and those two movies. Completely on different ends of the spectrum, the zombie spectrum, but I thought they were both excellent.
I'm going with Deceased. It's the DC version.
Have you read
That's a
it?
great name.
I read the first volume of one and I liked it a lot. So I don't know. I can't speak to all
Oh,
of
what?
it.
You didn't finish
they've
reading
That's
it?
what honorable
Honorable
mention.
mention.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
Also, they've only released 4 issues, so I don't know how you read a first volume.
I mean
Liar.
issue.
Yeah, you
Not
fucking
volume,
liar.
Not volume. I liked it.
You
though.
come here.
Did you read it
I'm
too?
still
Taylor?
reading it, but yeah,
Do you like
I've
it?
read all 4, but no, not really.
Really? I liked the first issue that I read. So
All right, well, I'm gonna go Hotel Transylvania. The like hotel workers are all
Nice.
zombies.
Oh, an Adam Sandler movie. Great.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare.
oh, cool.
Great expansion. Fun, practically the whole game.
Evil Dead 2.
Oh my god! I didn't say an Evil Dead movie.
Well,
I
that was the last nomination I had.
Oh, I've
so
got way more.
I'll just go with
Oh my
all
God.
of Adam Sandler's movies. It's my
Yeah, because you can tell he's dead inside.
That's all right.
Jesus Christ.
No, go ahead. You guys rapid fire.
I have so many.
I've got Thriller music video by Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Holy shit,
I don't
good
know if we
call.
can anymore.
Yeah.
I know,
Canceled
I know.
Eventually.
It's
Hey, honorable
questionable,
mentions, it's fine.
questionable, yeah.
Dead Space.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
fuck, I forgot about Dead Space. So many video games.
White Zombie, like the
Oh,
the old
wait, the
movie.
30s one, yeah.
Also, fuck it, Rob Zombie and his band White Zombie.
Oh man, burn,
Fair,
Texas, and burn.
Sam?
So I didn't know if this one counted because, like I said, apparently I was told they were vampires, not zombies. But I Am Legend, is that
vampires.
vampires? Okay. Well, then
I mean-
The Omega Man, like they were vampires in the book, but in the movie they kind of made them zombies.
Right.
I mean, there's
That's what
zombies
I'm
that burn in the
saying.
sunlight. Sounds like a vampire to me.
You're right.
They
Fine.
sparkle?
Continue.
Sam, look at me. The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser.
Are they technically
They're undead.
zombies?
They're mummies,
Yeah,
but mummies are also kind of zombies.
Okay.
Still, they
Reanimate-
have their own category.
reanimated
Whatever.
corpses?
It's honorable mention.
Honorable mentions.
I would have put that
Mummies?
one.
Are they mummies?
Wow, I
zombies?
thought you would have. Yeah, they're like undead. The soldiers are.
Mum-
All
undead.
right.
Mummies
All
are
right.
alive.
Whatever. Continue.
Mummies alive.
Continue.
Mummies alive.
I've got The Battery. It's like an indie zombie movie, super low budget, like thousands of dollars. They're kind of holed up in a van. Really good movie, 2012.
Nice.
I've got the song "Zombie" by the Cranberries.
Oh,
Zombie.
such a good song.
All right.
Nice.
Frankenstein.
You're getting wishy-washy with
Dude, he's
these.
a
Yeah,
fucking
these are
the
questionable.
monster is a reanimated corpse.
Sure.
I guess so.
Fucking
Whatever.
people call him
Yeah.
a Frankenstein, but he's
All right,
fucking a
all
zombie.
Honorable
right.
mentions. It's honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Okay.
I have Zombie 2, like the Italian movie from
Yes.
1979.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the one where he eats the shark, if anyone's ever seen
Oh
that.
my God, is that what that is? Zombie 2, amazing.
I'm gonna shout out Santa
Clarita
Clarita Diet.
Not bad.
I heard it's pretty okay.
Oh, shit.
It's okay. It is very okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
It's fine. Yeah.
Idle Hands with Devon Sawa, but Seth Green is a zombie friend. in that.
Oh yeah. I've never seen that. That's a good one.
You've never seen Idle Hands?
No.
It's a classic.
All right, I'll watch it.
All
That's
right.
one that's got like the actual hand running
Yeah,
around,
it's like a
right?
hand.
Yeah, they like try and microwave his hand.
Ooh, Dead Snow 2, Red versus Dead. This is the one where a bunch of zombie Russians fight a bunch of zombie Nazis.
Oh,
It's
man.
fucking great.
That sounds great.
It's fun as hell.
Do they use the same tagline as Alien versus Predator? It's whoever wins, we lose.
No, they definitely position. I don't know why, but they definitely position the zombie Russians as like good guys. Yeah.
Fair enough. I've got Wreck, like 2007, the one
Yes.
where they're in they did an
Quarantine, yeah.
American remake Quarantine.
Does
stuff, but
Quarantine
Wreck
count?
yeah, it's the same. It's
It's
just
the same movie,
remaking that
basically.
movie.
It's just a remake,
alright,
an English
alright,
language
alright.
remake.
How many more you guys got?
I got a bunch more. I got 3 more.
Oh, I've got 2 more.
Okay, you guys, Sam,
3.
say your 2 right now.
Okay, so Death Becomes Her with Meryl Streep. Does that count? Because they're like technically undead.
Sure.
All right.
I've never heard of it.
What? Oh my! With Bruce
I'm not gonna
Willis,
say no to-
Meryl Streep, and fucking Goldie Hawn.
I know all these people.
You
I just never seen
monsters!
it.
You monsters! All right, and then the last one you definitely haven't heard of, as it just hit Netflix 2 days ago. It's called Last Kids on Earth. It's a cartoon, and they're doing it at Atomic Cartoons here in Ottawa. Check it out.
Whoa,
Wow, and a plug.
A
All right.
plug. Go ahead.
Last 4. Half-Life, Land of the Dead, Army of Darkness, The Addams Family.
Okay. Taylor, what do you got?
I've got Immortal Hulk. It's the Hulk comic
yes.
that's running right now. He can't be killed. Every time he dies, he comes back to life. So it's pretty great.
Is he
It's just him
zombie?
trying to kill
Technically.
himself.
Okay.
He's trying to kill
Tongue is
himself.
unimpressed.
Sign me up.
Bruce Banner's trying to commit suicide, but he just keeps
I
coming
thought
back. as Hulk.
Hawkeye
It's just
killed
like
him.
he came back after, and like that's dealing with this. But
Oh,
it's just it's a
alright.
super like it's body horror. It's disgusting.
Oh, fuck, I love
and
me
it's
some
I
good.
love-
Oh, shit.
I hate it.
Oh, my God, I missed one. You guys all need to go home and watch it. It's called Dead Alive. It's a Peter Jackson movie. From
Peter Jackson,
Oh,
yeah.
there's a guy, and he's got a lawnmower, and he fights a bunch of zombies with it. And then there's a priest, and he's kung fu fighting a bunch of zombies, and he's like, I kick ass for the Lord. It's fucking great. Watch it. Sorry.
And he's got Brain Dead as well, doesn't he?
Brain Dead and Dead Alive, I think, are the same movie. Just different titles.
Just different names.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yikes!
All right, I'm just dipping into my nerd shit right here. There's an old episode of the show The Batman. I don't know if anybody remembers this.
Okay.
The Batman.
Yes,
it was
The
not
Batman.
good, but it was all that was around back then.
Yeah, it was
There's
okay.
one episode where Hugo Strange tells Batman that he infects all of Gotham and turns everybody into zombies. So Batman has to go around and like release the antidotes.
Love
but
it.
what he doesn't know is that Doctor Strange drugged him at the beginning, so he just thinks that everybody is a zombie, and he's going around and planting the actual thing that would turn them into zombies.
That's fucking
That's
cool.
fucking-
That's a cool.
It was a good twist they
Yeah.
pulled out at the end.
a good episode.
That's a good.
And the last one I read is this book called Wanderers. They're not quite like
lost
undead
me.
zombie
A
sort of thing,
book.
but a book. Yeah, it's something similar to whatever that disease you were talking about that infects the ants and stuff. It's this thing they call whiteface, and it's just this disease that infects colonies of bats, and it makes its way to humans, and it just kind of burrows into their brain. And same thing, they just kind of walk around.
You know, pod cavern gets really political sometimes. so,
I think we can all agree. Whiteface is bad. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Don't say it. That sounds frightening.
It's scary as hell.
There was one I was going to bring up too, and I forget the names, but I know the description. It's like a parasite, a real life parasite that latches onto fish tongues, and it basically bites off the fish tongue
Replaces it, right?
and replaces
Yeah.
it, and it like zombifies the fish because it will
The
eat
fuck?
on behalf of the fish, and the fish can't actually like digest anything because the parasite gets everything. It's fucking freaky.
hate
Nature's freaky.
Finally,
Yeah.
consumers, am I right, guys?
That's right.
Oh,
You
man.
can see- finally,
We're
you
the
guys,
we're the
listener.
Walking Dead. You guys get it.
All right. Okay.
Oh, this is a
Sam,
long one.
Sam, thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you for being on the
thank you.
Undead podcast, Spooky podcast.
It's my
Do you have any spooky plugs?
My
Or just regular plugs?
Oh shit, Sam! I think
Just-
you got bit.
regular plugs.
Okay, let's
This
speed
is
it up
my
here.
zombie voice.
Let me just put you in on drilling it.
Oh, am I a speedy crack zombie?
Yeah.
Okay, and then follow me on Instagram. I'm Sam Animation, SAM Animation, and then also you should watch the DC Superhero Girls on whatever
Great
broadcast you
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Yay! Sam works on some really cool shit.
She works on the coolest stuff.
Angus, what are you working on?
I'm working on some stuff coming to the Pod Cavern, so
Might be out by now, maybe.
keep an I hope.
by next. It's October right now, as you know.
I mean, I
it's
hope
October.
so. It should be.
It should be.
Should I just say it? A new show is
it's a
coming.
new show.
A new show
If
is
it's-
coming that I'm working on with some friends.
Keep your eyes peeled.
It's going to be great, and you'll love it. And also, if you live in Ottawa and you want to check out an improv show inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, the tabletop role-playing game, check out Quest Friends Forever on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Quest Friends Forever.
Awesome. Taylor, plugs, or even a show that you're watching that you want to plug.
Yeah, I don't really have anything going on. I just got shoes, so that's pretty cool. Shows
Nice.
that we're watching, Pen 15. I don't know if you guys watch this. It's incredible. It's
This
two
is a
like
joke?
no.
Yes.
It's two comedians, and they go back set in the year 2000 whenever they were both in
Oh,
school.
man, that's
So it's like these two like 30-year-old women, but everybody around them is actually kids, and it is fucking hysterical.
I'll check it out.
Great.
That and we've been watching The Righteous Gemstones. Really good. Danny McBride, Jody Hill. You know the guys who
Ooh, I
like.
like
Oh,
that.
shit, that looks awesome.
Vice
John Goodman.
Principals.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
John Goodman,
that's
Adam
out.
Devine.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's on Crave, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Taylor. And finally, of course, me, your host, Tuong. And listen, everyone, the Pod Cavern's growing. We don't get bit by zombies here because we are just impenetrable.
zombies.
We are zombies. But of course, you can find all the great shows in the Pod Cavern, like the Improv Punch Up, which by the time you're listening to this has gone on a hiatus. But we will have
of a break,
a little
slow
bit of a
down.
break. But don't worry, we have more
Still
shows coming out.
exists.
Check out our Halloween episode. That one was really fun and weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did that. We have Talking Tom, we have Pod Cavern Plays, and yes, Angus has a show coming out. We have another show coming down the Pod
Yeah.
Cavern. Lots of things are happening. All right,
Tom,
everyone.
question for you. What are the socials? Why don't we get, if they would have had a different zombie thing that maybe they would have liked, just tweet at the
Ooh,
podcast.
wow.
Look at this.
This guy, he's gunning
Fucking
for the host.
social media marketing
Yeah.
guy.
Coming for the host.
Well, I mean, how many people listen to this and just scream at their phone? They're like, "No, you should have had this."
I don't know how to
instead."
work the
Let us
internet.
know.
Listen,
many people.
We're on everything. We're on Facebook. We're on the Twitter. We're
We
on
don't
the
wanna
Instagram.
invite the haters.
You can email us at ranked@podcavern.com. There's so many ways.
And remember, if you watch the show or listen to it and you don't agree with it, fuck you.
Go die, brains.
That's what. Fuck you, Les. That's for you. And let's get out of here before the zombies get us, shall we?
Oh, I got bit.
Bye. Oh!